I'm Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
30 seconds.
Still waiting for a sign. Here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! What's going on, all you scallywags out there? It's Friday! I know you're excited. Last day of work for you. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. And of course, because I'm that dude, I'm going to switch it up real quick. Get on the phone right now, 860-522-WTIC. I'm going to give my final pair of tickets. And I got to do it right now. So you got to get on the phone right now. In order to get a pair of tickets to go see Greg Gutfeld live 25 featuring Tom Shalhoub on Sunday, September 21st at 6 p.m. at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. You can also go to foxwoods.com if you like to purchase the tickets on your own. But if you want to win right now, you got to get on the phone right now. Hurry up. Run to the phone. Where's it sitting? In the laundry room? Is it sitting? You left it by the printer. Go get it. Get on the phone so we can give these last pair of tickets away at 860-522-WTIC. And there they go, lighting up beautifully. Thank you guys, as always, for checking out the show. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a hearty thank you to those of you who are promoting Reese on the radio on networks far and wide, even some of our competitors. You have no idea how appreciative your humble correspondent is. I would have never guessed that people would do that. I mean, there is no job. We don't really have a street team. That's from way back in the days. I know we have a promotions team here that is well paid. at Odyssey or WTIC and all of our sister stations. But to know that there are people out there doing the promotions pro bono, I'm just saying thank you, especially just this show. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go to my Facebook page, okay? You can go to either one. In order for you to figure out what I'm talking about, you will. And I just posted another video about it. It is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm loving every bit of it. It's hilarious, and I was having some fun with it. But I ended up getting, I do one small little joke that takes me 5 minutes to do online, and then it becomes even bigger. And again, I got to thank the person who did it, because it shows how much you love me. And I don't. I love the fact that people love this show. And those of you who do, you know that. I tell you that every day, every chance I get. I always let you folks know how much I adore you and respect you, and how it warms my heart that you find our program here funny or entertaining or informative. And I just, again, I'm humbled by it every day. But there are some, the haters, that I kind of love a little more. So if you are a listener who loves the show and you are craving more love from me, you can always become a hater. Because I love them more. It's just the way that it goes. Roland, am I going to be picking the individual?
Nah, I got it. I'm just making my choice.
Okay, no problem. Anyway, so we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We'll get into that in the program. It's Friday. We usually run it a little light because news is scarce. We did have some breaking news about Pura. We will discuss that, and we'll take your phone calls on it. We've also got this story as it relates to the Connecticut Sun. I want to talk a little bit about that. It's not breaking news. It's not important news. But I do want to talk about the governor's plan to invest pension funds into the Connecticut Sun. I did some numbers, and I am not that guy. I am not the cranking out numbers guy. But I did some extensive stuff on it just because I wanted to say, all right, let's see exactly what the governor's trying to do here. And I looked at it, and when I look at these numbers, there's something that says, it is a gain, but is it worth it? So I'm going to share those numbers with you later on in the show. So stand by for that. We've got the stupidest thing that I read today, which is a story that headlined today. You all know about it. We'll get into that as well. What was the other thing I needed to? Oh, of course, we'll talk more about the Jimmy Kimmel fallout. And I guess most importantly, I want to talk about the ratings as it pertains to late night comedies and late night comedy talk shows. I've got some numbers that are really important to view and to understand. And another thing is that Rolling Stone has a headline that is talking about or suggesting that what's happening over at ABC by the government is wrong. And it is a form of cancel culture, censorship, and the like. But we have an article from 2023 from the same publication, Rolling Stone. The headline, Why Cancel Culture is Good for Democracy. Which, by the way, everyone's being caught out here by their own hypocrisy. Which is why this story won't last Tuesday of next week, if that. And we'll get to it. And again, I must reiterate, we do not know if Jimmy Kimmel's not coming back. But I may have some information that suggests that he's not. And this one's the worst. This is the worst piece of knowledge anybody could have. Because after I tell you these numbers, even if you support Jimmy Kimmel, you can't support what he's doing for that network. And even the network knows it too. He's a net loss, but we'll break that down. I do want to say this because, again, it is a Friday and I'm being a little lighthearted here. My wife has been gone for a little more than 24 hours. And I'm not making it. I'll tell you, I'm not making it at all. It's rough. It's rough going. It is. It's slow. It's quiet. I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't. And I refuse to do that AI nonsense. It's not happening. That isn't real. And I really, really do miss my wife. And I get it now. I really do get it now. I didn't understand it before, but I know now the truth. I have been married so many times because I am afraid to be alone. Sometimes you just have to admit the obvious. You know, bad marriage after bad marriage. You know, you just stick around through all the arguing, the fussing, and the fighting, you still stay. You know, what am I going to do? Sit at home by myself and be miserable? I could be miserable with someone. I don't feel that way about Roseanne, of course. And I'm completely tongue-in-cheek about why I've been married 4 times. I'm completely kidding before somebody says, like, really? No, I'm joking. What I mean by all of that is it's really, really difficult when you have a routine. And I've always believed this. And I don't know if this is true. I'll ask Mark Christopher, and I'll ask Roland as well if they believe this. They probably have never thought of this, but I truly do believe this. With no scientific research to back it up. I do believe that people in your life, like a wife or a significant other that you've been with for a long time, there is a chemical reaction to that person. Maybe it's not a mood or a vibe or a vibration. That's not what I mean. I believe that a part of you, chemically, biologically, changes when you're around someone. Let's just call it brain waves, right? Let's say it's like the way in which your brain produces dopamine, right? To use like a very, like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't pretend to be. I'm not all that technological and scientific. I'm not. I'm a bozo in that area. But I do believe this, that your brain chemistry reacts to the person that you spend the most time with. And when they are not around for a significant amount of time, in my case, a little more than 24 hours, that you feel that chemical imbalance. That weird, and I have it. I woke up this morning to an, I'm gonna tell a personal story. And if my wife's listening, she's gonna be stunned that I'm saying this. If I wake up and Roseanne is not in the bed and she's like gone, like let's say she'll get up and she'll go into the kitchen and grab coffee, or maybe she went in to go grab mail, or she doesn't want to disturb me, and so she's watching TV in the living room, so she doesn't want to turn on the TV in the bedroom. But if I wake up and I reach over and she's not there, I get anxious. I get abandonment anxiety. And I feel like there's a feeling that comes over me that's like, yo, whoa, where is she? And I will jump up out of bed like, where are you? And it's weird. I've never understood it. I remember the first time I explained it to her, that I was like, I think she went to another room, and I said, where'd you? No, she went outside. That's what it was. And it was really early. And I went, where'd you go? She was like, I just went out to the front. I was like, I was so worried. She was like, why? I was just like, oh, you just weren't there. And maybe it's a possessiveness. I don't know. But she's going to be gone this whole weekend, and I don't have you to bounce off of. I'm talking about you, the radio audience. I don't have you. I don't have you as a distraction to all of this. I almost feel like I have to do a 24-hour podcast tomorrow in order to make it through the day. It sounds weird, but I swear to you, I was actually thinking about it. Roland, have you ever felt this way when your wife leaves town or she is away?
Not that deep.
Yeah, it really? Okay, so I'm
after I need like I said, she takes 2 to 3 week vacations every year. They go to
Is it a family thing or like the girls thing?
Her mother's in
okay.
North Carolina.
Okay. So she'll do that
go down there. Yeah.
And be gone for how long?
Probably like it's normally 2 weeks. Every so often it could be 3 weeks, depending on
what?
Her whole family, her entire family is down there. So.
She might as well move down there.
if she wants to.
3 weeks? Seriously? You can deal with 3 weeks of your wife being away from you?
I would say probably around day 9 or 10. That's when I start.
That's when immediately you start to feel the distance, if you will, or the absence. I guess absence.
Yeah. So 2 weeks normally is perfect because I'll start to feel it around day 9 or 10, and then it's only like
right.
3.
Then you got 5 days.
Days.
Your anticipation, right, that she's coming home. Yeah, I can't. And I'm literally all thumbs. And you know what's another weird thing that I'm doing? I am making sure to do things that she would approve of while she's gone. It's wild. So I woke up and I was like, okay, got to make sure I take my vitamins because I know that she would be there. Like I take my methylene blue, I take my beets. So I woke up this morning and I made sure I had myself a bottle of water because she's really, really particular about that. You have to drink 3 bottles of your water today. And she'll sit right in front of me and make sure that I drink them. And so this morning I get up and the first thing I'm doing, I'm making sure I take my beets. I make sure I take my blue. I make sure I'm taking my multivitamins. And then I'm making sure I'm getting a bottle of water. I'm sitting up there going like, I am a trained SEAL. When she is gone. I didn't realize that I could be trained, and it's funny because when she's here, I will forget to do things like that, and I know that she will remind me. And now that she's gone, I'm behaving like a good little soldier.
The issue is that's a mental thing because you don't want to disappoint her when she's so far away.
Yeah.
Compared to if she's there, you're like, okay, she's here, so I could get away with X, Y, and Z. But when she's far away, you want to make sure you're on your best behavior. Like then she want her to come back happy too.
Yeah, and that's that's another thing. Talk about wanting her to come back happy. I'm actually looking around the house on how I can improve it for her.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like it's really overwhelming me about. I mean, it's really bizarre. I've never been like this ever. Like the wife leaving for 2 weeks, it's an opportunity to go buck wild. I'm like, I'm gonna sit around and eat Pop-Tarts and watch silly programming. Me, no. Like I'm really like, I do. I feel like a trained SEAL, or I do.
Yeah. I go bowling like 5 times a week, whereas when she's here, I only do it twice. So.
Oh, so you really do the distraction thing.
Yeah. No, not distraction. I actually I don't have anybody calling me.
Gotcha.
Saying, hey, what time are you going to be home? Or what are we going to eat for dinner? Or whatever. I can just go and bowl and have a great time. I could be at the bowling alley all day long and no one bothers me. So I enjoy that for like I said, 9 or 10 days. Then I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get back to.
Yeah, get back to normal. Do you treat it like a vacation when she's kind of on vacation? Do you treat it like that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to work, so.
Oh, yeah.
She's on vacation the whole summer because she's a social worker.
Oh, gotcha.
So she gets the summers off.
So Lori sent me something on brain chemistry. I'm gonna look into that.
And I believe that what you were talking about.
The brain chemistry part.
Because, a lot of times my wife, she has her best sleep when she's around me. So it's like,
right.
I'm like, what am I, your permanent pillow?
Yeah, emotionally.
She'll be up rowdy with everybody else. And then when she get around me, it's like, now she's knocked out in the first 5 seconds of watching a TV show. It's just so comfortable. Okay.
I'm saying I'm gonna read this that Lori just sent me. It says 3 ways brain chemistry influences love and attraction. So she's actually, I mean, I might be onto something. Aromatherapy. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think that's your thing, Roland, is that she sleeps better when you're around because she has your scent. That's right. That's not an offensive thing. I'm just saying your scent.
Yeah, well, I'm always shower fresh. So
I know
I'm not worried about
you
that.
are. Mark C says, if you get bored, you can always call your boyfriend Tim. You know, I could. I could, but he never answers the phone. He ghosts
he
me
always
all
likes
the
to
time.
fight, too.
That's probably what I need. I need a good fight. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. I'm going to break down this Jimmy Kimmel thing when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking NewGenix Total T.
The testosterone booster?
Yes, it really works. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with NewGenix Total T, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference in the bedroom. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text HEFTY to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of NewGenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of NewGenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's HEFTY to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 2:30, Hartford temperature 78 degrees. Good afternoon, I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. A mostly sunny Friday to close out the week. We have temperatures in the low 80s. That's where we'll stay today. Bob Cox has the details coming up. Connecticut's embattled Public Utilities Regulatory Authority Chair, Marissa Gillette, is stepping down. Her announcement coming by way of a letter to Governor Lamont today, citing what she calls a real emotional toll for herself, her family, and her team. During her tenure, which began in 2019, Gillette had faced criticism over her stewardship. That includes lawsuits from Eversource and United Illuminating, which have alleged Gillette was overstepping her boundaries on her decisions. Hartford Healthcare is bidding $86.1 million to acquire Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospitals. Both are currently run by Prospect Medical Holdings. Comes on the heels this week of Yukon Health announcing it would be in the running for Waterbury Hospital, another Prospect-run facility. 2 people were injured in a crash Thursday night in Naugatuck. 2 vehicles collided near Fulling Mills Deli just before 10. Area around Prospect Street was closed for a time. Both those vehicles caught fire. The injured parties taken to the hospital for treatment. M&T Bank had been experiencing technical issues, including some reports on social media of customers not being able to receive their direct deposits. Bank says it's working closely with its tech team to resolve the matter. The Senate rejected competing measures to fund federal agencies for a few weeks when the new budget year begins October 1st, increasing prospects for a partial government shutdown on that date. And Clayton Kershaw pitches the final regular season game of his storied 18-year career with the LA Dodgers tonight. The 37-year-old announced his decision to retire at season's end. He'll be surrounded by teammates, family, and fans. He's a 3-time Cy Young winner, 2-time World Series champion. The Dodgers' magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 6, and they face the Giants tonight. WTIC News Time 2:32. Here's Bob with the forecast.
Mostly sunny and pleasant out there this afternoon. A few cumulus clouds mixing in. A bit of a northwest breeze. And a high temperature not far from 80 in the Hartford area. Tonight looks clear and cooler. Lows 45 to 52. And then we'll have a sunny day Saturday to start off the weekend. It'll feel a lot more like fall with highs in the upper 60s and low 70s. Light wind and very low humidity. Clear and chilly Saturday night, widespread lows in the 40s. Sunday looks mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. And sun mixing with clouds Monday, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Autumn arrives Monday afternoon at 2:19. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, we currently have 79 degrees under sunny skies in Hartford. Dow Jones up 121 points this Friday. The Nasdaq's up 100, and the S&P is up 20 points. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner from Money Wisdom. Tune in every week for insights on taxes, investments, income planning, Social Security, and so much more. Tune in to Money Wisdom Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Attention Southern New England HVAC and mechanical contractors. Eagle Rivet is your trusted roofing partner for professional roof penetrations and flashing. We ensure your customers' roofs remain watertight during installations, protecting their warranties. We also offer complimentary roof inspections to identify potential issues before any HVAC work begins. Call Eagle Rivet today at 860-953-1231 or visit us online at eaglerivet.com. That's EAGLERIVET.com. Eagle Rivet is proud to support Rebuilding Together Hartford.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Saturday, October 4th at Sherwood Island State Park in Westport. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Fairfield County. That's afsp.org/Fairfield County.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you have any sort of joint pain, you got to listen up. Whether it's from years of hard work or an old injury that never healed right, whatever it is, you can have it stop right now. I'm Brian Shackman here talking about QC Kinetics. You can flip the script. It's regenerative medicine, advanced cellular treatments that help your body heal and restore the damage in your joints. They don't cover it up. They don't cut it out. They're actually helping heal and restore. The results are long-lasting relief, and it's amazing. It's so busy here in Connecticut, they opened up a third office. So instead of planning your day around pain, plan it around life, whether it's walking, hiking, playing with your kids, whatever. QC Kinetics can do without surgery, without drugs. Okay, give them a call. That first consultation is totally free. So bring your MRI, your x-rays, and find out if it's something for you. 860-440-PAIN. Again, it's 860-440-PAIN. They're located in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury. So give them a call. Chances are it's close to you. That free consultation, 860-440-PAIN.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
Oh my, what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. That's right, weight loss seminar, Saturday, September 20th at the Holiday Inn Express in Southington. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 to 4 p.m. Register 30 minutes before each seminar. Information at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Of course, I didn't put the microphone on. It's Reese on the radio right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Thank you for being a part of the program. We'll get into the Pura Resignation by Marissa Gillett. Is it Gillette, right? It's Gillette. Yes, that's her name, Gillette. We'll get into that later on in the program. We'll take your phone calls as well at 860-522-WTIC. And a whole bunch of other local news that we need to talk about, of course, as relates to that. And can we have confidence in Governor Lamont after all of the support he put behind Gillette? And we'll break that down also about his efforts to keep the Connecticut Sun in the state and his new tactic to do that. So I have this article that I'm going to get into later, talk about why cancel culture is good for democracy by Ernest Owens. And this was about how cancel culture was being used. And it's a good thing. And now people are saying, just like, oh, I thought the Republicans were against cancel culture. Actually, we're not for it. And this is not about canceling anybody. This is about the market doing what it does. But I do want to pay attention to a couple of key factors here. And the key factors are this. Now, I got this picture yesterday off of Jesse Waters' show. And those of you who are listening on the radio, you can't see this, but let me read to you what it is. It is called The Decline of Jimmy Kimmel Live. And at the height of its performance in 2013, that's the highest the ratings ever got. It was at 0.71. That was at its peak in 2013. And in the 2013 and 14 seasons, he started to steadily decline. They were only by a couple of points. According to this, and this is the actual data, on Jimmy Kimmel's show, he went from 0.71. And if you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter. The numbers speak for themselves. 0.71 to 0.68. To then 0.62, to 0.55, to 0.50, 0.47. Right at 2019, he was at 0.39. Today, Jimmy Kimmel stands, oh, sorry, I apologize, 2024, this is the last numbers recorded. He sits at 0.16 in 2024. 0.16. From a high of 0.71, he's down to 0.16 today. You can argue that it's streaming. You can argue that it's content and people getting their television programming from other places, but you don't see a precipitous drop like that. Because if you have a good product, people will come and see it. And it looks like at some particular time, people did. But that's not where the truth lies. The truth lies here. The key demo for late night programming, and any programming for that matter, this show, the key demo is the most important. It's ad dollars. Because this particular demo are the people who buy the products that are sold in the commercials. It's what we call the sweet spot. And Jimmy Kimmel wasn't making it. He was making, in August of 2025, he had 129,000 key demo viewers. 129 in August of 2025. That same period, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon is at 134,000. So he's doing worse than Fallon. But that's not where the rub is. The rub is Stephen Colbert is doing 264,000 that same period. So Jimmy is coming in dead last between the three, Colbert, Fallon, and himself. He's at 129. Colbert's at 264. And what do we know about Colbert? Colbert is done. He is out as of May of next year. To put more icing on this cake, I want to take you to his boss, Sherry Redstone, speaking to Axios about the end of Stephen Colbert.
I can tell you that we had been looking at late night. It was financially not viable. It had been that way for a long time. We had made a decision months prior to the announcement that we were not going to be going forward with that show. I love Stephen. He does a great job, but we really needed to be in a financially viable business, and you saw we did that with James Corden as well.
Now, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this really, really deep, folks. For those of you who are posted on your social media page, I stand with Jimmy Kimmel. Listen, the demo that I'm talking about is 18 to 49. 18 to 49. Jimmy Kimmel went on his program and said that MAGA was responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. And the sponsors went ballistic, as well did the affiliates, Nexstar and Sinclair. You're only pulling in 129,000 people in the key demo of 18 to 49, and you just blame MAGA folks or the folks that Charlie Kirk converted. You blame them for the murder of Charlie Kirk on your programming? How much blood were they supposed to lose as a network? How much? Somebody explain it to me. And the beautiful part about this is that when you look at these numbers, I mean, break it down. Who's supporting Jimmy Kimmel staying on the air? The one industry that literally makes no wealth in this country, only steals from it. The only industry in our country that actually benefits from your profits, and that's government. Those are the only people who are screaming and hollering about keeping Jimmy Kimmel. Because his message is so important, it doesn't matter if the station's hemorrhaging. Why would it? He isn't hemorrhaging enough. I made this analogy yesterday to a family member who's an MSNBC watcher and, of course, is just supporting Jimmy Kimmel because, it's opposed to Trump blindly. I asked her, an older woman out of Chicago, who I find out now is listening to my show quite often now. I asked her a simple question. If you owned a McDonald's and your cashier was every day coming in, steering 3 customers out of 10 out the door because she keeps repeating how meat is bad for you, would you keep them on? Would you just move them someplace else in the building, or would you get rid of them because you're losing profits? Yeah, you know what? She does have the right to free speech. And of course their response was, but that's McDonald's. That's not ABC. I went, no, it is the same thing. Do you think Jimmy Kimmel's any different than a person working at McDonald's? He's an employee. He doesn't own the network. And when they called him and they asked him to apologize, he told them to pound sand, which has, of course, become the culture in this media business as of late. As I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, or reminded you a couple of weeks ago, when NBC hired Rona McDowell. Is it McDonald? Who cares? When they hired her, all the employees revolted against the brass that hired her. And what did the brass do? They acquiesced. They fired her. And you were probably saying, if you've owned a business, you were probably, what bizarro world am I living in? That the employees revolted against me, the guy who signs their checks, and told me what to do? What's the sense of, we might as well be living in communist Cuba, where the workers make all the decisions. They're the most important. This would be Mamdani's dream. Well, then again, it did happen in New York, so they were probably just getting ready. But you got to ask yourself, what exactly are we witnessing here? There are people out there who are saying Jimmy Kimmel must stay. And they know that what he said was going to cost them viewers, and they were already hemorrhaging it. It isn't viable. And anyone makes an argument for it is an idiot, with all due respect. An idiot. You wouldn't do it yourself. And my rule is that don't ask others to do what you wouldn't do. You would never keep somebody on that was costing you money. You would never keep somebody on because you were just such a defense. You were just a defender of freedom of speech. Yeah, let him say anything. I actually remember someone came up with a great scenario about a young girl who was told by her employer to take off a Black Lives Matter button. And everybody was in an uproar about it. It's like, no, she's got to be allowed to keep that on. And a former colleague said to me, all right, fine, then I'll just let the other guy wear a Klan button. Like, that's not the same thing. How's it not? BLM doesn't affect my business. There's nothing to do with my business. Anybody can come in here wherever they want. If that's the case, she makes the rules. She's an employee. I don't make the rules anymore. She does. So because her cause is noble, she gets to just supersede what the rules of my business are. And that's the thing. These bozos out here running around screaming like, we're the moral authority. We don't care if you lose money. Who are you? Yeah, right. Take the L, folks. This is over. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio.
If you missed Odyssey's I'm Listening live, you can listen to it anytime at Odyssey.com. Just search I'm Listening under podcasts. This 1-hour broadcast event features some of the biggest names in music and sports and insights.
How's that audio working for you?
Mental health professional.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Mental health and the message that talk saves lives. You can also hear the 1-hour WTIC's mental wellness at WTIC.com. Coverage of Odyssey's I'm Listening is sponsored locally by the Connecticut Prevention Network.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos. And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level. It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon. Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're serving people 50 and
Yes,
up
sir.
like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Yeah, we're back, and you know it's funny. My Mary's in the chat room. She wrote something real quick. She says the reason why I can't work in healthcare anymore is because I would be telling people to do the opposite of what the doctor recommends. So therefore, I would eventually get let go, so I can choose to work in a different field. And she also says that Jimmy Kimmel could start a podcast, and his followers can follow him there and listen to all of his rhetoric. Yeah, you'd probably do great. You could do the same show. I mean, we're talking about a guy who made, what, $12 to $15 million a year? Yeah. And Greg Gutfeld on again, doing Gutfeld 25 in Foxwoods, said it best a couple of days ago. I've got no sympathy for a guy who makes for a liberal blowhard who makes $15 million a year and gets to go home and visit his kids. And and here's the wild part. Yesterday's Fox News, I can't remember who it was, but at least 3 people have used my line. And that is, Jimmy got fired. And Kirk got fired on. And this is, it's as plain as day. It's that simple. I'll go one step further here. Because to listen to these people screaming and hollering about what is or isn't free speech and who should be allowed to have it, I'd like to go to the Democrats. Here's Jen Psaki, Dan Goldman, Hillary Clinton, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, just to name a few.
You shouldn't be banned from one platform and not others if you are for providing misinformation out there.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
If people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block. It's really hard to govern today.
This is a matter of corporate responsibility. Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
The First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says. And there are limits, and that's important. And what this committee has been trying to do for the last year and a half is to chill the federal government from monitoring what is going on social media.
When you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't.
So my biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways.
We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio.
You're going to...
Oh, we go straight to... you know what? I did it again. Of course I did it again. I keep forgetting this is the hour we go all the way to the top. That's my bad. That's right. Disinformation was the word used as much as insurrection was. 100%, Mayor. That's, again, gosh, I just messed up my cue. I thought I was going to play that and I was going to be out. I just messed up the whole thing. Well, if that's the case, do I have one more minute? I might as well.
1 minute.
I got 1 minute. Let me play this part. What was it? This was Brian Stelter talking about freedom of speech versus freedom of reach.
Dishonest cries of censorship are filling Fox's airwaves with charges that these guys right here are being suppressed. The word censorship's been invoked almost 400 times on Fox this month alone, and more than 300 times on Newsmax. Post-insurrection, a book publisher decided that it does not want to be in business with Senator Josh Hawley. So he's been on a national TV tour claiming he's muzzled. And Tucker Carlson is telling viewers that this network, CNN, is trying to force Fox News off the air, which is patently false.
No, it's not.
It's as predictable as the sunrise. Democrats win elections, and then Republicans say they are being silenced.
Sound familiar? Sounds incredibly familiar. We'll be back. More news, more views that you can shake a stick at. It's Reese on Radio. Now we get to the WTIC newsroom with my good friend, John Silva. We'll be back.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
3 o'clock, 80 degrees, sunny skies. Will keep the sunshine and temps in the low 80s for the rest of this afternoon. Forecast details coming up. Marissa Gillette, the state's controversial top energy regulator, says she is resigning. She was facing pressure on several fronts, as we hear from WTIC's Dave Mager.
PURA, under Gillette's leadership, faces a series of lawsuits from utility companies. Then this week, House Republican leader Vin Candelora asked for an impeachment inquiry over whether Gillette lied to lawmakers. At a hearing, she denied the existence of emails limiting other commissioners' access to staff experts.
We were not able to find any, and the other commissioners went so far as to provide an attestation in writing that they have never been told that and are not in possession of that material.
The Hartford Courant reports those emails actually exist. With Gillette on her way out October 10th, Governor Lamont says he appreciates her public service. Candelora says it's up to the governor to restore PURA's credibility. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Hartford Healthcare is announcing an agreement to bid on acquiring Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospitals from Prospect Medical Holdings. HHC President Jeff Flax issuing that earlier today. Comes on the heels of word this week that Yukon Health would bid on Waterbury Hospital, also under the auspices of Prospect. House passed a temporary spending bill to keep the government running for 7 weeks after the start of the new budget year, October 1st, but the continuing resolution didn't make it out of the Senate.
Two failed efforts, both the Democratic version of the CR and the Republican version of the CR, failed to pass. It's back to the drawing board.
That is correspondent Torian Small on Capitol Hill. Back here, officials in New Haven gave a demonstration at the police academy on how they plan to get rid of illegal ATVs and dirt bikes seized by police. As part of the city's crackdown, they'll be gathering the bikes and crushing them. Mayor Justin Elliker credits a regional task force with coming up with the plan. Law prohibits police from giving chase to the offenders.
And so we have to use more creative solutions. Technology, we're using a lot more cameras, we're using drones at times to track them. We have dramatically increased the fines thanks to both our state legislators and our alders.
Yeah, those fines are steep. $1,000 for a first-time offense goes up from there. $1,500 for a second-time offender, and a third time will cost $2,000. Group of former CDC employees has been rallying outside the Atlanta headquarters, while inside a panel is meeting to discuss new guidelines when it comes to vaccines. Here's Jonathan O'Brien.
Under a banner that says CDC protects us all, about 24 former agency employees hold signs urging the committee to focus on the science surrounding vaccine recommendations. Katrina Kretzinger says she's concerned about the process happening inside.
If a standing recommendation without any new evidence is suddenly changed, the only thing that can really do is create confusion and sow doubt in the public.
Others here say they are afraid that politics is playing a role in the new vaccine policy. Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
And protesters squared off in Chicago today at an ICE facility.
The ICE agents on the ground were essentially outnumbered, and that's when they started to throw those smoke grenades, starting to disperse the crowd, those smoke grenades reaching media crews that were here on the opposite side of the street and starting to impact us as well, whether that be our breathing or whether that be our eyes, where many of us had to run and take cover.
Reporter Darius Johnson in Chicago. WTIC News Time. 3:04 checking traffic on this getaway Friday. We already have a crash to report in East Hartford. It's westbound 84 between exits 56 and 57. Looks like 2 right lanes are taken out with that. The delay is beginning to build out of the West Hartford area between 44 and 51 on the eastbound side of 84. We still have some leftover repair work down in Berlin on Route 9. Northbound side between exits 34 and 36. Left lane will be out there till about 3:30. Along the shoreline, 95 corridor, so far okay, all things considered. We've got the northbound buildup out of Greenwich on 95 between exits 2 and 4. And a little ways up, we see some slow traffic southbound side of 95 out of New Haven between exit 48 down to West Haven, Campbell Ave, and exit 43. Let's check the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
High pressure in control through much of our forecast will mean a great weekend and a nice start to the new work week before the chance of rain returns on Tuesday. But no rain gear needed for the rest of this afternoon. Will be partly sunny with a high near 80 to end the work week. A cold front moving through tonight will bring us cooler conditions overnight with clear skies and a low of 48. The weekend will start out beautiful tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and a high of 73, a bit cooler than today. Tomorrow night clear, cool again, low 46, and mostly sunny and nice to end the weekend Sunday, high 72. Back to work and school on Monday. The nice dry weather continues, sunshine, high 76 on Monday. But our next chance of rain is waiting in the wings on Tuesday. We'll see any sunshine fade behind clouds. It will turn warmer, though. Chance of a thunder shower by the afternoon as temperatures go up to 82. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's up 167 points. NASDAQ is ahead 115, and the S&P is up 26. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Dishonest cries of censorship are filling Fox's airwaves. With charges that these guys right here are being suppressed.
Even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah, we are here. I totally forgot about that. In fact, I also forgot about this. I should have kept a note of it. I got to get Patty in real quick because I promised I would talk to her today about this. So, Patty, even though we did not, I'm going to start you off like a magician would in Las Vegas. You and I have not pre-discussed what we are about to discuss now, right?
No, we did not.
Okay,
Not
so
even a word.
you mentioned...
I almost here today, and I said, I won't even do that. So I didn't do that either.
No, that's okay. So you had mentioned a couple of days ago, we were talking about the whole, the vaccine thing, and I can only keep you for a short while, but I wanted to ask you this because you were talking about how you had some adverse effects based upon the minerals or the additives inside vaccines. So let me get to the question that I wanted to ask you and why I was interested in you calling back, because I wanted to address that. So my wife has mentioned that before and saying that she has talked about like irregular, talked about everything from irregular cycles or the fact that she has certain allergies to things. She even goes, now I think that that's just a menopause thing, but she does say that there are other contributors to the way in which she experiences menopause. Is there any truth, as a nurse, have you seen anything like that? And can you briefly tell me what some of these things are? Yes.
Perimenopause?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you just a few facts.
Okay.
Hepatitis B has within it an adjuvant. The adjuvant is called aluminum. There's 250 micrograms of aluminum in the hepatitis B. The hepatitis B actually in children and in people causing autoimmune diseases, it's causing all kinds of problems from the adjuvants and what is in this vaccine. And this particular adjuvant, aluminum, is what is referred to as a very slow acting. For example, I got mine in 1986. Over the next 2 to 3 years, it changes your immune system.
Wow.
So in 1988, I started to not feel good. In 1989, anaphylactic reactions, asthma, etc. Never had them in my whole life, okay? So this is not just me. It actually, it's changing your immune system, and it actually is not in a good direction at all. It actually, for children, I think if they're under 4.4 pounds, they actually do not give them. But I'll tell you something, Reese. If your mother is negative, which they test her in pregnancy,
right,
and say with the same partner she has, and he's not negative, and he's negative, and he's not doing, Why would you vaccinate a child for an injection that actually is very hard to actually make antibodies to? And I was told that by a Leahy Clinic pulmonologist, by the way. And actually, he said I actually had a very good. He said it takes a very good immune system to be able to make those antibodies, but they last for 1 to 5 years. So you're doing a brand new baby, and by the time the child is age 6, any benefit that you might have thought you were going to receive is gone.
Okay,
So
last question that I'll ask you, and this is probably the one to me that's the most important, so I can understand it. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't get it. In my view, I do. I think I've figured this out, but I'm just asking you, just so sort of as a clarification, or maybe just as a sort of an echo chamber sort of response here. So I was always under the impression that as a baby, it is necessary for them to build an immune system through natural exposure to germs. That injecting...
I can answer that really well for you. I can answer that really well. And you know what? It came from a MIT scientist for 50 years, and she's still out there, by the way.
Okay.
She was one of the worst people I followed for 5 years. Your immune system is something that pharma has been unable to reproduce in human beings. And it is God's gift to us. Our immune system has 2 parts to it, the innate, and our immune system, this is why lockdowns were so bad. Our immune system, as we walk down the street, anywhere we go, is always working for us. It actually has sensors our body picks up.
Right.
It actually can destroy infections and virus before they even enter the cell.
Right.
That is how great it is. And but the beauty of it is it becomes trained. One of the great advantages of measles, by the way, is the ability for the immune system become empowered. It is one of the most training things our body can do is actually, I had measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox as a child. And the measles one actually makes your immune system super deluxe. It goes into a great symphony. It makes it more of a perfection. It helps it to grow.
It's like intelligent. It's one of the things that I learned very early on, and I love the first time I ever heard the phrasing, the intelligent design of it all, right? You know, the intelligent design of the body doing what it does. Okay, last thing, because you now you just piqued my interest a little further into another question. So that means if I'm reading you right here, that what we're learning now about these vaccines are actually preventing our natural immune system to do those things that you just described. That in some ways, we're actually building barriers that disincentivize us to be protected by our own immune system. Am I right here?
I'll give you a thing. This is called humoral immunity when you get it from an injection. I had measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, all of them as a child, every single one of them. When I was 30-something years old, a patient came into the hospital where I worked, and they needed to know that a nurse was 100% sure she had chickenpox because they needed somebody to take care of the patient. I took care of the patient. I washed my hands, changed my clothes. When I got home, I went in the shower, and you know what? I didn't bring it to anybody. I had what's called cell-mediated immunity. It gets stored for the rest of my life in the bone marrow, and it's also in the T cells. And as soon as the body recognizes it's picked up in your atmosphere through our great immune system that we have, takes it into the body immediately recognizes it and sends out its antibodies.
Well,
I never got sick.
I'll tell you this.
Had chickenpox, never got sick.
I'll tell you this, Patty, and I'll let you go with this. The thing that blew my mind is that when COVID was around, someone had sort of whispered in my ear to say, go look up the polio. Just look up polio, not the vaccine. Just look up polio. And what I discovered, the thing that really blew my mind was that the thing they never tell us, as far as that's related to the polio vaccine, great, of course, a great invention, the whole 9 yards. But the thing that's rarely talked about is that a huge part of the eradication of polio was, was natural infection, or was actually herd immunity was a huge part of removing it from society.
And it depends which one you got and where you got it. And what
Yeah,
country you got it.
that it played. I didn't realize that. I was reading up on it, and I was just going, wow, a huge part of actually what saved lives. Sorry?
I had polio, which was a liquid. I had the DPT, and I had the one for smallpox. Those were my injections as a child.
Wow. Thank you, Patty. I just wanted to ask you because when you said you had.
Call me. You see my phone number?
Yes, I got it.
If you want to call me or you want to call me,
yes,
you call me back.
You got
I
it.
have a lot I can tell you on adjuvants because they are extremely important and they are because they stay in your body and they are really, really important to discuss. And I know someday you may want to talk about the garden.
Well,
what,
Patty, I'm going to do a whole thing after this documentary comes out. So that's going to be a huge feature on this show.
October 3rd, we can even do it in segments. October 3rd, Del Bigtree comes out. I have been studying this since 1989.
Wow.
And the reason my immune system got hit. And I will tell you this too, the doctor to this day said to me, you have adapted to an absolutely impossible situation.
Wow.
So the doctor who saved my life happened to be a Yale physician. And I also went to the Leahy Clinic. So to be honest with you, people do have side effects. And in anything you put in your body, you look to be sure that they're giving you informed consent.
Yeah,
that they're
indeed.
Gonna tell what the risk is and what the benefit is for you. And you can discuss that with your physician.
Yeah. Thank you.
Everybody is not the same. We all have predispositions.
That's right. Thank you, Patty. I really appreciate that. Thanks for calling back.
Anytime you call me, call me.
You got it. Thanks, Patty. Because I know my wife's going to want to call her. This is really right up her alley. I've actually only recently, well, since 2020, have gotten really, really interested in this topic, especially after finding out that there were so many lies and just things that didn't sit right. And like my logic button just kept going. It's like this constant wailing in my head. It's going, why are we doing that? What's going on? I was asking these questions like, I say it to myself all the time. I was like, are you just being a nudge just to be a nudge? And I'm like, no, it isn't. Maybe I'm just curious. That's just a good thing. Anyway, but thank you again, Patty. I really do. And trust me, you will be getting a phone call from us. In talking about this thing with Jimmy Kimmel, on March 1st of 2023, and people forget this is 2 years ago. A little more than 2 years ago. It's not like we didn't know this was happening. And I get the short memory, but you shouldn't have a 2-year-old short memory. If that's the case, you should all get tested. Rupert Murdoch, chairman, Fox Corporation, March 1st, 2023. This is a letter signed by Charles Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Because of Rupert Murdoch's deposition in the lawsuit against Fox News by Dominion. And because Rupert Murdoch decided to settle some $790 or $787 million, that this was reason enough for the network to get rid of Tucker Carlson, which indeed ended up happening. But this letter was to ask Rupert Murdoch to fire one of their employees. And with all these people screaming and hollering about government intervention, not one person's mentioned this on CNN, MSNBC, or anybody else. No, not at all. Brian Stelter celebrated the removal of Tucker Carlson. Could it have been, I don't know, professional bitterness? Because CNN had no ratings to speak of, and Tucker Carlson was pulling in a good, $4 or $5 million, 4 or 5 million people a night? Possibly. But no one shied away from getting rid of Tucker Carlson, and nobody was screaming about free speech. Tucker Carlson just started TuckerCarlson.com. Sure enough, he's getting more ratings than he was over at Fox. And did that with his severance pay, started his own network. That's right, they wanted Hannity gone too. And I'm looking at the people they want to stay. Now remember, Tucker Carlson had the #1 cable news show. He was making He had 5 times the audience of his competitors combined. No one was competing with Tucker Carlson over at Fox News. Nobody was. Jimmy Kimmel is in 3rd place in the key demo that hurts ABC. And here's the thing, Sinclair and Nexstar, where are their affiliate stations? They're in the heartland. The places where Charlie Kirk is probably the most popular. The backlash was going to be intense. And if those companies are, remotely as conservative as people are saying they are in published reports or accusing them of being, can you imagine that? Hearing what Jimmy Kimmel says, look, no offense, but enough is enough. This guy's on the network. He's gaining us. We're getting no money from him. He's going viral for all the wrong reasons. He's left the whole doing the bits like taking the candy from the kids or, giving the kids fake Christmas presents, the stuff that was really nailing it and hitting it out of the park. And now what are we getting from this guy? Diatribes about politics, crying on air about losing elections. And you guys want us to keep financing that? Did you know how much an episode costs of Jimmy Kimmel Live? They do anywhere between 170 episodes to roughly about 200 a year. Okay, 365 days, weekends off, some reruns. So about 170. Let's keep it in that to be conservative. About 170 episodes a year. According to published reports, each episode costs the network a little more than $530,000. That's 4 days a week. And again, Fridays they usually do reruns because now it's an established show. So I would just ask, why are we fighting for this? What are we supposed to glean from ABC having a problem on making this decision? You think now you should bring him back? Where were all the people? And you know what? This is the bigger question. I would just ask this. As I've already showed you, and I'll show you again if you're watching online. Let's go back to Jimmy Kimmel's ratings drop. We're not talking about half his audience. We're talking about a full 2/3, if not 3/4 of his audience. Gone since 2013. Gone. Doesn't exist anymore. Not coming back. You think about that. You think that what we should do is subsidize that, give it another contract for another 5 years while he continues to lose an audience. We see a downward trend. From where he used to be at 0.71, he's now to 0.16 since last year. And for him to then go on the air and bloviate some more, do the same thing that lost him an audience. Oh, and by the way, let's go one step further. When asked about losing his audience because he became partisan, he said, I know it, and it's worth it. And then to boot, tells his bosses, yeah, I'm doubling down. And the employer is supposed to go, what do we do? Again, someone's got to just make it make sense. Oh, and let's go one step further. Remember, that audience decline that you're looking at right there, that included the liberals who are now screaming and hollering for him to stay. Where were they? Are you telling me now they're going to show up? Are you telling me that once they get their way and Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air, that they're going to go, now we need to watch it even more? Where were you? He's been doing this since, 2020? If not earlier? As soon as Stephen Colbert decided, I'm going to start bashing the administration, all of a sudden, all the rest had to follow suit. They never gained any ground. They never gained any listeners, and they all went full bore. I'm going to go after the president. Lost more and more money. And ABC is supposed to go, yeah, this seems like a righteous business proposition. Yeah, let's give him another contract for another 5 years, see how many people he can actually hemorrhage. Yeah, that's the way we're going to do it. Disney Plus is already losing $1 billion. Sure, let's lose some more. I hope the shareholders don't notice. You guys, again, someone has got to explain it to me. Do all the protesting you want. Beg, plead, holler, cry. But this is done. This is over. And if they bring them back, I mean, I guess ABC is just saying, what the hell? We're just going to blow the whole thing up. That's it. Well, let's see how far. I don't think we've gone low enough. Even an alcoholic gets a bottom. I guess these folks don't. They may be so addicted to, I don't think he's coming back. I don't know. What am I talking about? He ain't coming back.
Out of room.
We got to take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio.
Packaging doesn't mask symptoms. It neutralizes allergens. Whisker Block, our patent-pending technology, binds the allergens so your immune system doesn't overreact. Many users feel relief in days, with meaningful improvement about a week in when used consistently. Recommended by doctors and experts, and designed to be safe for pets and humans of all ages. Control allergies with confidence. Add Packagin to your cat's food daily. Packagin.com. Pacagen.com.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
3:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Singer Morrissey has canceled a show tonight at Foxwoods Resort Casino. This for reported death threats made against the singer in Ottawa. A show in Boston has also been canceled. On its website, Foxwoods says ticket holders can obtain a refund at the points of purchase. Marissa Gillette is out as chair of PURA, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority. She'd been on the job since 2019, but has butted heads in recent years with state lawmakers and utility officials. Governor Lamont will now be tasked with choosing her successor. Gillette's resignation is effective October 10th. Hartford Healthcare announcing a plan to bid to acquire Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospitals from Prospect Medical Holdings Group. HHC President Jeff Flax issued a letter to that end today. Call comes on the heels of word this week that Yukon Health would bid on Waterbury Hospital, also under the auspices of Prospect. New Haven's cracking down on illegal dirt bikes and their operators. Officials were on hand today at the police academy to demonstrate how they're getting rid of the bikes once they're confiscated. They're being crushed and turned into scrap metal. Police are somewhat hamstrung in trying to collar the violators. They've turned to other technology to get the nuisance riders off the streets while slapping them with hefty fines as well. Senate rejected competing measures to fund federal agencies for a few weeks. When the new budget year begins October 1st, that increases the prospect of at least a partial government shutdown on that date. And Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s new vaccine advisors have debated whether to recommend this fall's COVID vaccinations. Many people in several states are reporting frustration in getting them. The FDA recently put new regulations or new restrictions on this year's shots from Pfizer, Moderna, reserving them for people over 65 or younger folks with higher risk factors. WTIC News time is 3:32. Here's the forecast.
For the rest of this afternoon, it looks great as we end the work week with partly sunny skies and a high near 80. In the wake of a cold front, temperatures dip tonight. We'll see clear skies, low 48 by morning. Then tomorrow, bright sunshine, a beautiful start to the weekend, high 73. Tomorrow night, clear and cool again, low 46. And a nice Sunday, mostly sunny, high 72 to end the weekend. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
And for these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Carbone's Kitchen is now open for lunch at noon. Sink your teeth into the Franklin Ave Chicken Panini with grilled chicken, pesto, and fresh mozzarella on toasted sourdough. Or savor our short rib grilled cheese with tender short rib, melty fontina, and garlic aioli. For a lighter option, try our salmon, tenderloin, or chicken with choice of 2 fresh sides. And of course, all our pasta is made fresh daily on our machine imported from Italy. Carbone's Kitchen. Italian comfort reimagined. And now Carbone's Prime is open for lunch too. See our menus at carboneskitchen.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner from Money Wisdom. Tune in every week for insights on taxes, investments, income planning, Social Security, and so much more. Tune in to Money Wisdom Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Life unfolds in ways you can never quite expect. A divorce, a death in the family, a personal injury. Each time you are left searching for someone new to trust. But what if you had a full-service law firm that knows you and a firm that can represent all your legal needs? With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Proud full-service law partner of Yukon Athletics. Nick Payne-Dearis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick seminars. No matter how many times you've tried to quit, this hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. That's right. Weight loss seminar Saturday, September 20th at the Holiday Inn Express in Southington. Time is 11 a.m. Registration begins at 10:30. Stop smoking seminar starts at 2 p.m. Registration starts at 1:30. Information at markpatrickseminars.com.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Saturday, September 27th at Duncan Park in Hartford. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/CT Capital Area. And then we'll see you at Duncan Park on September 27th. WTIC News Talk 1080 is a proud supporter of the American Federation for Suicide Prevention Out of the Darkness Walk.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was.
I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
You hear that? That's your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
We're back, and I, of course, made the stupid mistake of putting that at the bottom of the pile. It's time for headlines. And, of course, I already broke that part. The former chairwoman of Paramount, the parent company of CBS, Sherry Redstone, says that she did not fire Colbert or end the Late Show because of government pressure or the president. She said that indeed it had everything to do with viability. She said that to Axios this past, I think it was like 2 days ago, she finally came forward and said what was the reason for it.
I can tell you that we had been looking at late night. It was financially not viable. It had been that way for a long time. We had made a decision months prior to the announcement that we were not going to be going forward with that show. I love Stephen. He does a great job, but we really needed to be in a financially viable business, and you saw we did that with James Corden as well.
Yeah, James Corden was gone way before then, and it just wasn't going to happen for him. And like I said, he's got the most ratings in the key demo, and they still got rid of him. So that blows that story up. A story featured on The Stupidest Thing I Read Today. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is now trying to figure out how they can end the AI overuse that got them in trouble for this ridiculous picture that you're seeing here, where someone holding a bow and arrow with a vest has 6 fingers on one hand and a missing index finger on the other because they chose to use Canva as the picture, but Canva is not supposed to be used on in other words, as a government official form of making photographs, even in AI. So they're having a discussion on how to tamp down on the use of AI and use it in a respectful way. I've just got one idea for them. Perhaps you can just go outside and take a selfie of you in the wilderness. It's just that simple. It takes no budget to go outside and take a picture of yourself. People have been doing it for years. You don't have to create a phony image of you going outside. Just go outside. It's a novel and weird idea. Maybe you're not hip to it. You all technologically advanced folks. But so you don't get stupid pictures like that, just simply go outside. I mean, the word environment is in your name. Perhaps go to the environment. Just an idea. Maybe. Just an idea, thought. President Joe Biden's former chief of staff sure is throwing people under the bus. Jeff Zients stated that Biden's decision-making capability slowed during the administration, you think? Observing that decisions that initially required 3 meetings eventually needed 4. Zients said that he and the National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan agreed that Biden ought to step out of the 2024 presidential race after his disastrous performance in the debate with President Joe Biden last fall. He also revealed that Hunter Biden, the former president's son, who was convicted on tax and gun charges, but was absolved of responsibility for his crimes when his father pardoned him, was also the person who participated in the administration's pardon process, despite his lack of formal position within it. The revelation was also revealed in a Jake Tapper book, you might remember. Here's Jake Tapper talking to Katie Couric about their book, which was called Original Sin.
How big a factor was the Hunter stuff?
I think it was considerable. I think Hunter was driving the decision-making for the family in a way that he was almost like a chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
It's bizarre because I think he is provably, demonstrably unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions.
Yeah. Hunter wasn't happy about that. In an interview he did, he actually, berated Jake Tapper, but never disputed the claims that he was indeed the chief of staff. Now for the stupidest thing I read today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Congratulations, Democrats. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is throwing her hat into the ring. She is going to be the first sacrificial lamb that gets completely destroyed in the presidential race of 2028. Why is she doing it? I don't know. According to reports, she is throwing her name out there to be a part of the fray, to at least get the feelers out there, maybe to make a mistake or two before she actually runs in the next election in 2032. But I'm just going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I want to see this. I really do. Because if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is thinking about getting in this early, there's only one person who got in this early, only one who actually made it, and that is Barack Hussein Obama. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is the face of the party. Sorry, folks, she is. Democrats may be mad about it, but you can't name one. You can't name a soul. One solitary soul. You can say Hakeem Jeffries, but everybody calls him Timu Obama. That's even worse. I don't even think he's that. I think I don't even know what's wrong with him. He's like a performance artist, like interpretive dance when he talks. It's weird. But you got nobody. AOC has been the firebrand since the moment she got into Congress, and she's it. She's it. So good luck. Can't wait for her to throw her hat in the ring. It is going to be absolutely fun. I am going to have a blast. In fact, I'm already thinking of what kind of AOC bit I can do every week. It'll be like Negro nonsense, but that bad. It's really, really going to be bad. So that's it for headlines. We're going to take some phone calls. Stand by for them. But I want to talk about this article in the Connecticut Sentinel about the Newtown school behavioral therapist who's under fire for hateful, racist social media posts. Parents are calling for her immediate dismissal. And this woman, whose name is Danielle Slaughter Loser, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I don't know, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. I thought it was appropriate that was her name. Yes, Danielle Slaughter Loser. That's what it says here. That's the name I'm reading. And yes, she is a behavioral therapist in the school system. And the things that this woman has written on social media, and I've just gone onto her Facebook page, is astonishing. I mean, absolutely astonishing what this woman writes on her Facebook page. But if I may, it says here in the Sentinel, you guys, I don't know if, I don't want to criticize you guys. I love you guys. You post my Substack every week. But I do have to ask a question about this. It says Newtown School behavioral therapist is under fire for hateful, racist social media posts. And I just got off her web page or Facebook page, and she's married to a white guy. This black woman, she's married to a white guy. So I don't know if it's you or it's her, but so she's posting racial things about white folks, but is married to a white. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let's go to Mark in Unionville. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Hi, Reese. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, sir. What's up?
This got my blood boiling. I didn't get all the details, but they had a little bit. I caught a little bit on the news this morning about Farmington school board members and at least a teacher in trouble over post for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, This is a growing thing in the state. More and more people are being outed for these comments about Charlie Kirk. What is your what's your frustration or your problem with finding out these people are posting it?
Well, first off, it's wrong to post it, but the second thing is it's a Democratic state, and the Democrats aren't going to do anything to the Democrats.
And you don't think that they will have like a moment of self-reflection and say this isn't helping the discourse in any way, and sort of if not reprimand them, tell the individuals, look, we need to tone it down, and you can play a part in that.
No, they're not going to tone it down. Like the chairman of the school board, he came out with, well, someone must have hacked my website. Well, I think he's a hack.
Yeah, I heard one of those stories. Is that the Jim Beckert story? Is it Beckert that you're talking about?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I thought that's who it was. I saw that story the other day. Here's what I will propose to you, Mark, and let me see if this might be helpful to you. Let's just say we are going to put an incredibly intense amount of focus on anyone, including this young lady, Danielle Slaughter Loser. We're going to put an incredible amount of pressure on her. Now, when I say me, I really just mean me. And if I can get them to repent in some sort of way, would that be helpful?
Yes, but they won't truly repent. They'll only.
Well, I'll go one step further. Let's say, if I at least get them to take it down and to make a formal apology, even if it's disingenuous, would that work for you?
Not really, because they're not genuine.
No, Mark, no. I appreciate your honesty. Because I know that what you care about is that if they are pure of heart and pure of mind, that if they apologize, then at least it's sincere. But you don't believe that they can be sincere about this, and I get it. The only reason why I'm asking you is because, to be honest with you, I don't want to use the term bully, but I can really reason with these folks to knock this stuff off, which is I'm going to do in a little bit after I take some phone calls. So I hope you tune in, and I'll lay it out for you exactly what we're going to do to get these folks to realize that what they're doing isn't not only not helpful to their party, but it isn't helpful to conversation.
Well, I hope you succeed,
Thank you.
I'm a loyal listener, and I'll be listening in.
Mark, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Speaking of loyal listeners, I'd like to give a round of applause to Pam B. out in Thomaston. And thank you for always loyally listening, Pam. I love you for it. She will be our final contestant today, who's going to go see Greg Gutfeld and special guest Tom
That'll
Shalhoub.
roll.
Yes, I know. On Sunday, September 21st at 6 p.m. at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. We'll be back.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Kurt.
You're supposed to be on fire as a person. You're supposed to want to get things done. I started having anxiety out of the blue, low libido, brain fog, not feeling driven. Literally had to push myself every day to get up and get things done. I was driving and I heard Northeast Men's Health on the radio, and the first consult seemed reasonable. So I decided to give it a call and made an appointment. They found out I had low T, and after that, it was like a light switch got turned on. I've been a patient at Northeast Men's Health for about 9 months now. Everything's gotten a lot better in my life. Energy, feeling, just work, a whole lot better. Even my kids notice. They're like, Daddy's got energy, Daddy's ready to go. If you don't feel like that, I would suggest calling Northeast Men's Health.
Thanks, Kurt. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 with results in minutes. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call today, 800-930-5956, or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Yeah, and yeah, I think I'm going to move on from that. I've got to talk about this Gillette story that you heard at the top of the hour. She's finally decided to take an L and step away. And it's not good for Lamont to have this happen in the way that it did, because he really, really stuck his neck out for her with all the controversy that was happening day in and day out. He never once gave the impression that he was going to let up, and then to reestablish her position. And with all of the complaints, thumbing his nose at any criticism, every new story, just dismissive of it, just shows exactly what's wrong in the state of Connecticut. And this isn't above the law, above a little bit of above reproach, that definitely. But it is the absolute dismissal that comes from the governor's office, which has got to be checked. Now, it may not be checked by Republicans. It may not even be checked by the media. But if Josh Elliott is serious about unseating Lamont, he just got his opportunity. He did. if Elliott is under the impression that he is going to be a change agent, right? No more business as usual. Now working for the people, because that's what the Progressive Party is, right? They're thinking about the little guy. This Pura thing was the biggest thing. It was the hottest story. And clearly the thing that irritated the most people. And sure enough, Lamont held on to this woman until it became too much for her to bear. And she hung him out to dry. I mean, this just goes to exactly the problem that's in the state. I don't know if Aaron Stewart, I don't know if Fazio can actually seize on this, because I kind of feel like the news media is ignoring it, even if they were to say something about it. By the way, just so you know, Republicans, if you really want to capitalize on this, you really, really do, send me an email. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. You will look at it and go, oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Oh, I have an amazing way to capitalize on this. In fact, if you really want to go deep, we can make sure no Democrat ever sits in that office again, and you could use the whole Pura scandal as a means to get it done. I'm telling you, it's real easy. You're just not looking at it the right way. When I used to tell my boys when I would hire one of the guys to be my movers, he was trying to move a couch or a table in a weird angle, and I said, you're not looking in 3D. You're looking in left and right and up and down. You have to be three-dimensional. It's ReeseOnTheRadio.com, by the way, in case you're interested. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic with our good friend, Mark Christopher, in the BPS Traffic Center.
O'Hanlon.
Oh, it's Tom O'Hanlon. That's right, Tommy. Tommy's back. Tom O'Hanlon's filling in for Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On 84 on the westbound side, we've got some trouble. A crash with two vehicles involved between exits 57 and 56. The two right lanes are taken out, and the eastbound side of 84 is slowing down. Exit 44 to 51 just with traffic volume. Founders Bridge, we've got a little bit of traffic going west into the city, but we're still in the game. 91 southbound slowing down. Exit 35A to 32. And 91, some tapping of the brakes now and then near 691, but if you're going up 91, we're pretty good. Route 2 slowing down from Wilbur Cross up into 84 here and there. Wilbur Cross is good, so is Route 3. And 91 southbound, you're doing all right, bunching up, though, as you get down to 95 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
High pressure in control through much of our forecast will mean a great weekend and a nice start to the new work week before the chance of rain returns on Tuesday. But no rain gear needed for the rest of this afternoon. Will be partly sunny with a high near 80 to end the work week. A cold front moving through tonight will bring us cooler conditions overnight with clear skies and a low of 48. The weekend will start out beautiful tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and a high of 73, a bit cooler than today. Tomorrow night, clear, cool again, low 46, and mostly sunny and nice to end the weekend Sunday, high 72. Back to work and school on Monday. The nice dry weather continues, sunshine, high 76 on Monday. But our next chance of rain is waiting in the wings on Tuesday. We'll see any sunshine fade behind clouds. It will turn warmer, though. Chance of a thunder shower by the afternoon as temperatures go up to 82. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Sunny skies, 80 degrees, our temperature. And the state's top energy regulator is resigning. Pura Chair Marissa Gillette says disputes took their toll. The agency faces a series of lawsuits from utility companies. Then this week, House Republican leader Vin Candelora asked for an impeachment inquiry on whether Gillette lied to lawmakers at a confirmation hearing earlier this year.
Told me back in February the information that we're garnering today from the court case is indicating otherwise. So That was my concern, that I do believe she may have provided misinformation.
Now, Gillette denied the existence of emails limiting the ability of other commissioners to consult staff experts. The Hartford Courant later found those emails do exist. Pressed by reporters, Governor Lamont didn't answer on whether Gillette may have lied.
I'm going to miss her as Courant chair. The utilities won't, because she held them accountable. She knew her stuff. But that said, there was a lot of incoming, a lot of noise, lawsuits and such.
The Candelara now expects there won't be an impeachment inquiry because Gillette is removing herself from office. The memorial for Charlie Kirk is Sunday in Glendale, Arizona, and security is expected to be tight.
Security is expected to be extremely tight. The Department of Homeland Security has classified the memorial as a level 1 security event. It's the same level of protection as the Super Bowl. It means that local, state, and federal law enforcement are all coordinating security. Those going should expect airport-style screening and a strict no-bag policy.
That is correspondent Andres Gutierrez. Kirk was gunned down during an appearance last Wednesday in Utah. The fallout continues over ABC's axing of Jimmy Kimmel Live this week. Natalie Brand reports.
The remarks angered FCC head Brendan Carr, who told CNBC on Thursday he'll continue to hold broadcasters accountable to the public interest.
We're in the midst of a massive shift in dynamics in the media ecosystem for lots of reasons, again, including the permission structure that President Trump's election has provided. And I would simply say we're not done yet.
Speaking to reporters on his way back from the UK, President Trump even suggested revoking broadcast licenses for networks that cover him negatively.
Singer Morrissey has called off his show tonight at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Morrissey says that he received death threats at a show in Ottawa and decided to make the call. Foxwood says tickets, refunds that is, can be obtained from the point of purchase. A show with Morrissey in Boston has also been canceled as well. New Haven's cracking down on illegal dirt bikes and their operators. Officials were on hand today at the police academy to demonstrate how they're getting rid of the bikes once they're confiscated. They're being crushed and turned into scrap metal. Police are somewhat hamstrung in trying to collar the violators. They've turned to other technology to get the nuisance riders off the street while slapping them with hefty fines. Police Chief Carl Jacobson says safety and quality of life are major concerns.
Don't come into the city, steal cars, and then the noise complaints. We are crushing the $1,000 tickets for noise. New Haven, everybody in New Haven deserves to be peaceful.
Those nabbed for riding an illegal dirt bike face a $1,000 fine for the first offense. The fines escalate to $1,500 and $2,000 respectively, with each ensuing infraction. Wall Street, the Dow up 172 points, the NASDAQ up 160, S&P up 32. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible for services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
It's Reese on the Radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Between rounds. And congratulations today goes to Lisa M. in Windsor. She is the winner of a dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe. And that's located in South Windsor, Vernon, and Manchester. If you'd like to win, you got to go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. Of course, you can also go to reeseontheradio.com for so much more. You can listen to the podcast there. You can also listen to the podcast on WTIC.com. Don't forget that, because now it's a podcast and they actually have advertising for it. Yay! Very excited about that. When I hear, I mean, this sounds silly. I've been in this business for a little more than 21 years now. 23 years now, off and on. And I still get, super excited whenever there's like an ad that plays something about me on it. I was like, yeah, I have an ad, which is kind of cool. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm like a kid in a candy store. So I'm very happy about that. Also, I do want to, if you missed it before, I want to extend a thank you, a really, really heartfelt thank you for anybody who calls up other radio stations and other talk show hosts from other radio stations to talk about this show. That kind of promotion you can't buy, because if one of our sales folks were to actually go over to another radio station and say, hey, can you mention the guy over on the rival station for us during your peak hours, they would look at you like you had three heads and go, no. So the fact that anyone would do it free of charge, I mean, that's not even a role that you could pay a person to do, because they would be rejected every time. So the fact that someone actually does that of their free will and not even get a paycheck to promote the Reese on the Radio program, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. You are doing God's work. I'm saying that in jest. All the people out there that know I'm saying it in jest. That's completely firm, tongue-in-cheek. But I really do appreciate it. You can't get that kind of marketing. You just can't. I couldn't get that from the sales department, and that's their job. I couldn't get them to call another radio station from another network and talk about Reese on the Radio. That's insanity, Mark Christopher. No, Tom O'Hanlon. Damn it. I'm just so used to it. It just flows off the thing. That's right, Tom O'Hanlon in the BPS Traffic Center. We'll be back.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Doing better now in East Hartford, 84 westbound. That cleared a crash that took out 2 lanes between exits 57 and 56. Some of the residual traffic is improving. 84 eastbound still busy, exit 44 to 51. And after Parkville, it gets a little easier. Founders Bridge has some brake lights on the Hartford side going west. 91 southbound through Windsor, 35A to 32, it's slowing down. Also in Middletown, southbound on 91, exit 20 to 17. On Route 2, we're otherwise looking pretty good in either direction below 84. Wilbur-Cross and Route 3 are moving, and 91 southbound not bad, then bunching up a bit as you get down into New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through the rest of the afternoon, partly sunny skies. Our temperatures close to our high right now. That's where we'll top out. Will be clear and cooler tonight in the wake of a cold front as we drop down to 48. And a beautiful weekend. Tomorrow, sunshine, 73. Clear, low 46 tomorrow night, and nice on Sunday as well with sun, high 72. An early peak at next week, dry Monday, chance of a thunder shower, and warmer on Tuesday. Right now, 80 in Windsor, West Hartford, and Hartford. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Why choose Affordable Baths? Because they're the only ones that give you the price up front. The other guys don't. The other guys install roofs, siding, windows, and doors. Affordable Baths installs bathrooms, just bathrooms, and they use Kohler fixtures. The other guys don't. Affordable Baths has a showroom that you can see, feel, and touch what you're buying. With the other guys, you'll never see your salesperson after you sign the deal. At Affordable Baths, they're with you every step of the way. So the question is not why would you buy from Affordable Baths? It's when will you work with Affordable Baths? Keep it affordable at affordablebaths.com.
I can't get the signal. Okay, seriously. Now there's absolutely no excuse not to listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. You can literally hear us anywhere when you listen on your smartphone. And now you can hear us on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the TuneIn app. So pick your favorite and search and follow WTIC News Talk 1080 in the app. Then listen wherever you are. It's really that easy. So no more, I can't get the signal. We've made it easy. WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
My doctor told me my cholesterol borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Might as well get to the phones. We got all of these people on the lines. Let's go to Dave in Brantford. How are you, sir? Dave?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. What's going on?
I was going to be up next. I wanted to say the Jimmy Kimmel thing is turning into a free speech for or against it.
Okay.
And I think he just turned into a 10-year Jimmy OneNote. It was very boring. Every issue in the news, you wonder what side is he on. It was just how does Trump look bad because of this story. It just was boring. I think that's why he needs to go. I wanted to commend you on your handling of Patty, and in general, your the way you handle scientific issues as an everyman. And one of the things, and this is kind of the whole point. So I'm reading the Sierra Club magazine.
Oh, sure.
It's really a left-wing kind of environmental.
Absolutely.
And one of the things they do, they're talking about climate change and why we need wetlands. Okay. But they use the word anthropogenic climate change, another word for man-made. Why would you use a word with all those syllables when man-made works better? They talk about carbon sequesterer, which basically means carbon storage or carbon sink. It's kind of like if you're really smart, you have to use these words. And the thing that gets me, I think it was a week ago, we had Fred McKinney on that you graciously allowed to speak on your show. And instead of saying black people in his essay, he called them descendants of stolen people to prove he had all those degrees. What is it about scientific people that they use the $9 words when a one-syllable word just as well? And so you are very good at getting the scientifically bent people like, Patty or myself, get them back onto planet Earth and phrase it in a way that the listeners can understand.
Do. You know what? I think, it's so... Thank you. And I really do appreciate it. It's absolutely the kindest thing you could say. Because I know, and I remember the first time I'd ever used a new word that I learned. And my uncle, I call him Richard. He's not Richard. He looked like Richard Pryor, but he was my uncle Nicky. And he used to get on my case all the time. And he used to say to me, he go, boy, why are you using them big words? You trying to sound white? And I went, no, I just like the word. And he says, just use regular words. You ain't got to be all fancy in front of nobody. And I always thought that was like, at one point, I thought it was insulting. But on another level, I went, you know what? These people have an opinion of me no matter what. Am I trying to show them something that I'm not? Or am I trying to, sort of pat myself on the back because I know this word? Like, am I bragging? And I really did. It affected me in a couple of ways as I got older. And you really touched on it. I really had to stop being so concerned about whether or not someone thought I was smart based upon the words that I used, instead of just speaking and people realizing that I was smart just from, a regular conversation or being kind of an honest and real person.
One more comment. I don't know if your wife's going to be on tonight. I really like the way the both of you enunciate in a clear, non-ethnic, non-geographic way. And I think maybe that's why you like each other. I wouldn't want somebody talking about y'all do this, y'all do that. That just wouldn't be me,
I know.
And I think you two are right for each other, and I appreciate that too. Happy Friday. Thanks for letting me on.
You got it, sir. Let's go to Rob in New Britain. Hello, Rob.
The Rhythm the Rebel.
What's going on?
First off, I want to give you guys a song, something for Roland to put into the mix.
Which you can't
The
anymore,
band
but
is-
go ahead.
The band is called Clutch. The name of the song is 1001001.
Okay, Clutch.
You're
Okay.
gonna love it.
Okay.
It'll put some boogie in the show. And first off, you were talking yesterday about Uncle Rush. I feel the same way.
Yes.
He is smiling at what you're doing.
Thank you.
You are a blessing to this station.
Thank you.
And whenever you're on the radio with your wife,
yes,
you can tell of what a teddy bear you are.
I thought that I didn't think they'd be on to me that quick, but yeah.
I'm on to you, buddy.
See, Soft,
And we love you, man. You're the best thing this radio station has had in a long time.
Gosh, thank you. God bless you, and I really appreciate
And
that,
God
Rob.
bless you.
Thank you, man. You have a
got
great.
it, man.
Thank you. Have a great
Check out
weekend.
Clutch.
You got it. Hey, Roland, check that song out. See what we can find out. Mark in West Hartford's on the line, and he is dying to talk about what I think he wants to talk about because he's been posting it online. What?
Yeah, two quick things before that. I
Go
can't
ahead.
wait to troll other stations now. The only thing is, I'm going to preface by giving, the station ID, and you're on from 10 to 2.
Right.
I'm going to give your website. I'm going to tell about your podcast before I bash you. How's
Right.
that? So
That's
I'll top-
absolutely
Hey,
fine.
So before I get to my thing, just remember this name, and we're not going to get lost in the weed. I got to tell you, break it down one day. John Fonfera.
I'm all
Remember
over it.
that name,
I'm
John
all over it.
Fonfera.
I'm all over it.
And his mentor was William DeBella. And one day I got to do a PowerPoint presentation because it is complicated, but this is old school stuff that's still
Well,
going on today.
you believe it? Let's just preface this. You believe that's the name that's being bandied about the new Pura position, right?
He's going to have something to do with either the appointment or get appointed himself. The only thing is I don't know if an elected official or an appointment. I'm not sure because, sometimes you can't cross over or be appointed.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm not sure if somebody's getting back to me on that.
Okay.
But,
Well,
I have
there
a
is some
feeling
talk.
there's gonna be a little
From what you just showed me, there is some talk about it. But anyway, you wanted to get into, I'm assuming, you wanted to get into the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, for those of you who don't have Twitter, so this is what I'm doing. So Ned always does this in his smirk, condescending way.
Right.
Whether he's addressing the Connecticut Republicans or just the population in general here in Connecticut, he'll be like, well, if you've got any other suggestions. So I'm talking about using the state pension funds to invest into purchasing Connecticut Sun.
Right.
So I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, investments. And then I'm thinking like he's looking for suggestions or solutions. He actually sleeps with one, which is Jeannie Lamont. She's made almost $700 million doing what? Investing.
Yes.
Now, she actually made money during COVID with Semaphore. And even though they'll tell you they didn't keep the money, well, her friends and family and partners in her investment firms did. But
Yeah.
why doesn't he spearhead with his wife or just have her do it on her own?
Correct.
She has the means, she has the funds, and she has the circle of other investors. Why aren't they investing? If it's such a good investment, she doesn't need to invest.
Can
in
I tell you?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Can I tell you what the numbers look like? Because this is I'm going to give you what the three knows based upon what Governor Lamont wishes to do with the pension fund, right? A 5-year cumulative return on the $25 million investment. And for those of you who do not know, the Office of the Treasurer, which is where the state's pension fund is about $63 billion in assets. That's where it sits. This would be an investment of $25 million into the Connecticut Sun. And with that, of course, this is to help keep the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut. A conservative estimate gives a projected return on investment, an ROI, of 10 to 12%. That means that in 5 years, you could see 40 to 45 million. A base case investment or return of investment only works out to 15 to 18. That's 50 to 60 million. And the optimistic bid, which is what Lamont thinks will happen, his optimistic bid only comes up to 20 and 25. So we're seeing an increase of about 65 to 80 million out of its $25 million investment. Now, look, I can look at that and just say, oh, sure, slow growth. It's not, it's not over the top. We're not seeing 100 million out of a $25 million investment. But it is still, it's iffy. It can go here, it can go there. And because the Connecticut Sun is having winning seasons and they're having playoff runs, they could still, the conservative amount still is good. But the question remains whether or not a $40 to $45 million return, which comes to about 60 to 80% in total, whether or not that's a good investment. What do you think based on those numbers if you would have, about your own, if your own money was invested?
Well, now you're going to make me want to go back into my archives and look up all the projections for Dunkin' Donut Park.
Exactly.
Because guess what? All that stuff was said back then. And they were going to build around it, and then that was going to compound all the people who were going to move into the apartment, the restaurant that was going to be in center field that's not there.
Yeah, but do we know that
generate so much money? It was like, it was the Emerald City within a city.
But do we know, does a part of this investment, right, that they're going to use they're proposing the pension fund for, is part of this deal to bring them to the city of Hartford, or does this just keep them in Mohegan? Because that's the most important question.
Aren't we supposed to be sympathetic towards people? How about all those people who are faithful fans out that way? I'm sure a lot of people travel too, but I
would go. Look, I would. Okay. Let's look at it this way. I would probably, and if they haven't, I would be stunned. But I would clearly survey the amount of people who go to Mohegan for the games, right? How many games are we talking about in a year? 32?
I don't know, but you know what I just remembered? And I've got to look it up. We had a professional team, all women's team. I forget the league. I believe it was in the latter part of the 90s. I'm hoping one listener.
Are you talking about the Whalers?
In Hartford. They were at the XL Center. I can't for the life of me remember.
And it's not the Whalers?
Was Connecticut Pride?
It wasn't the Connecticut Pride?
I believe that might have been the name. But
what was the sport?
I want to go back and look at what happened to all
basketball.
The numbers, the projections, and who invested. But my original question is, can't Ned Lamont, we're talking about a multimillionaire who sleeps with a multimillionaire. They can't broker a deal with their friends in Greenwich to buy the team? That's peanuts if you think about 4 or 5 of them getting together and pulling their money.
You know what? I will tell you.
Got to rely on taxpayers?
No, but you know what? Listen, I will tell you this. You made a very, very good point. And that's the other question, right? Because there should be, and there's enough millionaires, if not billionaires, in the state of Connecticut who he could nudge and say, hey, listen, we really want to keep the team here and get those folks to invest. I mean, it's $25 million overall. I don't see how, and you're right, with somebody who has that kind of money, why wouldn't they? Or why not get a group of people to join one conglomerate to invest that $25 million to keep it here in the state? It makes no sense. It's a good point. Like, don't put the taxpayers on the hook, especially, which is another interesting thing, if he's intending to run again, he doesn't want to use taxpayer money. That's something that's going to be used against him.
New England Blizzard, was it?
Oh, the New England Blizzard? What the hell was that?
I can't. You know what? That sounds like another name. I know that name too.
Was that a hockey team, Roland?
It was either.
Nah, it was ABL Professional Basketball Women.
Oh, okay. For basketball, okay. ABL team. It was a female basketball team, an ABL. I've never heard of them. That doesn't even ring a bell.
But if we're such a basketball state, how come that didn't survive?
You know what? I don't know.
That was still during the UConn years. I'm talking mid to late 90s.
You know,
so
I think
we're not like pre-UConn women's basketball and all this.
I think you're 100. I think you're 100% right on the taxpayer front. Don't use the pension. Lamont should be able to get investors who live in Connecticut, especially the wealthy community, because there's a lot of money here, to get those folks to come up with the $25 million. It's a drop in the bucket to a lot of people in Connecticut. And it would be a brilliant move if Lamont really wanted them to stay and he could keep the taxpayer out of it. But, we'll see. I don't know.
Or I'll leave you with this. I know what my father would say. I always think about, like, okay, what would Bob say? He'd say, don't spend money you ain't got.
Yeah, good
That's
point.
it. There's another great suggestion, right?
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Maybe, you know what? It could be. I'll tell you this. I think Oakley Dokley in this effort is grasping at straws because he doesn't know what to do. I think that's the case.
And here's the other thing is, I know a lot of people. I'm not saying I've got a pretty decent circle of friends.
Right.
I haven't heard one of them go like, we really got to, they got to keep that team here. I don't even know anybody who went there. Brian, and I'm not picking on Brian Schaffman. The other day, he's shilling for this, and I asked him how many games he'd been to, and he goes, only a couple. So, I mean, why are you all in on something? You don't even go to the games yourself.
Because I think, listen, Connecticut needs, and people keep talking about how do you get Hartford to be viable again. This is kind of
done.
No, Mark, come on. I know you think it's done.
Wait, okay. Let me ask you this, and then I'll let you go, and you can finish. Don't you believe that somebody's always going to be on the bottom of the list? And maybe it's forever. But, when you have a list of, let's say you out of 50 states and 50 capital cities, you're going to have the top 10 worst. And you know what? I hate to tell you, I'm born and raised there, worked there, lived there, first apartment. Listen, it's not coming back. You're going to be in the worst top 10 for probably
I would rather,
ever.
listen, to be honest with you, it is a fight worth having, but I get your point. I do have to get to a break. I'll talk to you soon.
Optimism is overrated.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
Lee, thanks a lot.
You got it.
Have a great weekend.
I'm telling you, I think if there's going to be a last-ditch effort, if Mark is right, forget it. Just throw all of it. Just throw all the money at it. Take it to the new People's Bank Arena. Let's get Tom O'Hanlon in here with weather in the BPS Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Well, here's a challenge for a Friday afternoon. Northbound on 91, we have a crash between exits 29A and 32 in Hartford. Now the left and the center lanes are closed. 84 westbound, it's busy from Main Street over to the river and across into Hartford. 84 eastbound slowing down, exit 44 to 51 with traffic volume. After Parkville, it's a little bit easier. Founders Bridge tapping the brakes going west into Hartford. And 91 southbound in Windsor was slowing down, exit 35A to 32, and also in Middletown southbound, exit 20 to 17. On Route 3, we're in pretty good shape. Wilbur Cross is moving. 91 southbound, not too bad down to New Haven, but 95 southbound in New Haven, busy from exit 48 to 43. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of this afternoon, it looks great as we end the work week with partly sunny skies and a high near 80. In the wake of a cold front, temperatures dip tonight. We'll see clear skies, low 48 by morning. Then tomorrow, bright sunshine, a beautiful start to the weekend, high 73. Tomorrow night, clear and cool again, low 46. And a nice Sunday, mostly sunny, high 72 to end the weekend. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 4:30, Hartford temperature 80 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Connecticut's embattled Public Utilities Regulatory Authority Chair, Marissa Gillette, is stepping down. The announcement in a letter to Governor Lamont today, citing what she called a real emotional toll for herself, her family, and her team. During her tenure, which began 6 years ago, Gillette has faced criticism over her leadership. And that includes lawsuits from Eversource and United Illuminating, which have alleged Gillette was overstepping her boundaries on her decisions. Hartford Healthcare bidding $86.1 million to acquire Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospitals. Both are currently run by Prospect Medical Holdings and comes on the heels of this week's Yukon Health announcement of a bid to purchase Waterbury Hospital from Prospect. 2 people were injured in a crash Thursday night in Naugatuck. 2 vehicles collided near Fullings Mills Deli just before 10. That's in the Prospect Street area of the borough. Both vehicles caught fire. The injured party is taken to the hospital for treatment. M&T Bank experienced technical issues today, including some reports on social media of customers not being able to receive their direct deposits. The bank said it worked closely with its technology team to resolve the matter. Senate rejected competing measures to fund federal agencies for a few weeks when the budget year begins October 1st. That increases prospects for a partial government shutdown. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s new vaccine advisors added more confusion today to this fall's COVID-19 vaccinations. For the first time since the shots were developed, the group has declined to recommend their use, instead leaving the choice up to those who want the shot. On Wall Street today, the Dow finished up 172 points, the NASDAQ gained 160, and the S&P was up 32. Red Sox are in Tampa Bay to face the Rays. 6:35 is the pregame here on TIC. Yankees continue their series in Baltimore against the Orioles. Mets open a series at Citi Field against the Nationals. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, this is Joel Johnson with Johnson Brunetti. Do not make mistakes when it comes to Social Security decisions. Get our free guide, Social Security Decisions. Call or text the word security to request your copy. 1-800-705-1232. Call or text the word security to 1-800-705-1232 to get your free guide. 1-800-705-1232.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
How many times did your old rickety heating system not fire up last year? Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling is Central Connecticut's leader when it comes to competitive pricing on a new boiler, heat pump, or furnace. Don't despair when your old clunking furnace just can't be repaired. Replace with an affordable, custom-designed heating system from Campbell. Contact Campbell today at campbellcooling.com. That's campbellcooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi heating and cooling equipment. Let our expert technicians heat your home this fall.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Do you have $10 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available.
Robert from Simsbury says he's just checking in. He parlayed something for you, I guess.
Of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation
He
when you
parlayed
call
something for me?
800-201
Yeah. Made something happen for you.
800-201-7676. 800-201-7676.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Should I take his phone call? Is that what I should do at this point?
I guess.
Okay. All right, let's go to the phones real quick. Robert is in Simsbury. Hello, Robert.
Reese, how are you?
I'm.
To talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
First-time caller. Just want to call. Nothing to add. You're just a breath of fresh air here. Love your truth, your wisdom, your down-to-earth, no BS, factual read on things. We're lucky to have you. I'm glad you are going to move to Connecticut permanently. I don't know why, but I'm glad you are. And I just wish you well. You're just a great, great addition to the airways here for us conservatives. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. I totally appreciate you taking the time. And thank you for being a first-time caller. I try to encourage as many people to call in as they can, especially the new folks. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful weekend.
God bless you.
You got it. You too. God bless you. I want to read this because this is this is such a great text message. Someone writes, criticizing everything Lamont and the Democrats the Democrats do will not get your party back in power. And so I wrote back to the person, let me ask you a question. Do you think I can't change the politics in Connecticut? And their response was, well, you can certainly try. To which I responded, that's a yes where I'm from. When someone avoids the answer, it means they know I just might. I feed off that. And I do. If I can say to you, do you think I could change the politics of Connecticut? Because a lot of people, they don't. Even some of the people I talk to. I mean, ask Mark in West Hartford. He's not all that certain. He's not bought in yet. I don't want him to be. I do not want to convince him. I will go bit by bit. I will go brick by brick. But you better watch out. When I tell you I have a plan, I have got such a plan. And I'm going to do it where it counts. I'm not going to get into arguments that don't matter. I'm not going to start fights that I can't and ridiculously don't have any interest in winning. When I say I'm going to change the politics in Connecticut, I'm going to use the people who are already in control of it. And I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but I don't need conservatives to change the politics in Connecticut. I need all the liberals, and I will use them. I will use them in ways that will blow your mind. Trust me. I'm dead serious.
Was that your devious laugh?
Oh, I have a much more devious laugh than that. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Oh, Bill Deeger, he's in for Bob Larson, and Tom O'Hanlon, he's in for Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. We're jammed up in Hartford with a crash on 91 northbound still between exits 29A and 32. It took out the left and center lanes. 84 westbound busy, Main Street over to the river and into Hartford. 84 eastbound slows down with traffic volume, exit 44 to 51. And Founders Bridge has brake lights on the Hartford side if you're going west. 91 southbound in Windsor slow, exit 35A to 32. And in Middletown, also southbound, exit 20 to 17. Route 3 is moving. And in Meriden, Wilbur Cross northbound, exit 65 into 691. We have a closure there because of a crash. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through the rest of our Friday afternoon and into the evening, mostly partly sunny skies. Most of us have reached our high of 80 for the day. Temperatures tumbling from here behind a cold front. Clear tonight. We'll dip all the way down to 48 by morning. Then it will be a beautiful but rather cool weekend, especially if you're in the shade. Sunshine tomorrow, 73. Clear tomorrow night, low 46, and sunny on Sunday, up to just 72. We stay in the 70s and dry on Monday. Our next chance of rain comes later Tuesday. Right now, 79 in Middletown, 78 in Walcott, and 80 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080. Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Have you noticed those ugly algae streaks that ruin a roof's look? Your insurance company will. Atlas Roofing with Scotchgard Protector from the Peter L. Brown Company stays beautiful and streak-free. For a free estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
It's Sarah Samuels, co-host of the Retirement Income Source, heard Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and again at 12:30 p.m. In retirement, it's all about the income, and that's real income, generated from interest and dividends. If your advisor is selling your portfolio shares and writing you a check, that's not income. To learn how to generate retirement income the right way, tune in to the Retirement Income Source, Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Retirement Income Source with David Scranton is a paid
1 minute.
CEO of
Yes,
Consumer
sir.
Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On News Talk 1080, WTIC.
All right, we're back. There's a political spat over 700 million gallons of wastewater in the Connecticut River. Let's try that again. There's a spat over 700 million gallons of wastewater in the Connecticut River. And this is an article written by Alex Apple, and we've had her on the show, of Connecticut Inside Investigator. Connecticut politicians are going back and forth over allegations about wastewater dumping in the Connecticut River. In August, Connecticut Representatives Tammy Zawentowski of East Granby and Devin Carney of Lyme sent a letter to the Environmental Protection Agency's New England Administrator, Mark Sanborn, about a wastewater overflow. Quote, "We are deeply troubled by the ongoing wastewater discharge issues affecting the Connecticut River, particularly the recent combined sewer overflow events from upstream municipalities in Massachusetts that directly impact downstream communities in our state. When these discharges occur, you can actually see some of the solid waste from untreated sewage floating down with the current. We have video footage of this," they write. In 2024, about 543 million gallons of wastewater from 3 towns in Massachusetts, Springfield, Holyoke, and Chicopee, overflowed into the river upstream from Connecticut and the Long Island Sound. According to a report from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, the vast majority of the wastewater overflow happened during heavy rainstorms, and the wastewater consists mostly of rain. However, human sewage is also seeping into the river. While there has been a comprehensive report, while there has not been a comprehensive report about the discharge in 2025, recent reports showed that more than 400 million gallons of wastewater overflowed from the 3 towns in Massachusetts into the Connecticut River in July alone. But Representative John Santinella of Enfield says that Zawatowski is overstating the problem. He told 22 News that Zawatowski's claims were misleading, and it was not a new problem. When he was growing up in Enfield, people always knew that the river was not safe to swim after large rainstorms, he said. Santinella did, however, reaffirm the importance of preventing sewage leakage in that interview. "It's hard for us," he said, "in Connecticut to legitimately point our fingers to our friends in the north when Connecticut dumps the same amount of sewage into the river on a regular basis," he said in that interview. I hope that you understood what he just said. It's difficult to point fingers when we do it ourselves. So because it's being done in Connecticut, we shouldn't bother our neighbors to the north. And something made me look into Santinella, and I knew I was going to be right about it too. It kind of sickened me. Because Santinella, of course, was one of the people, the Connecticut House Democrats, who signed a July 8th statement supporting the targeted use of DQuat to control hydrilla in the Connecticut River. So Representative John Santinella doesn't care what goes into the water. Well, we put our own sewage there. I don't think it's fair to put all of the onus on Massachusetts. And we put our own wastewater there, you know. And when I was a kid, everybody knew you shouldn't swim in it, you know. So just don't. Just leave it alone. It's not that bad. It's okay. I wasn't like I didn't say it before, folks. Wasn't like I didn't say it before. What happened to Connecticut? What happened to the environmentalists in this state? Now it's like, you know, it's a necessary evil. Wastewater, you know, who cares? 400 gallons, 500 gallons, 700 gallons. Who's counting? Who's counting? If you want to read the report, go to Connecticut Inside Investigator, I apologize, Connecticut Inside Investigator.com to read it. It's insane. And, you know, I told you last week that I had some news that I didn't know. And now that I know, it's blowing my mind. So if you've been paying attention to my reporting as it relates to DQuat and the removal of hydrilla in the Connecticut River, you know that I reported one year, Senator Dick Blumenthal looked to get $6 million one year and $5 million the next. And then we got a breakdown for where all that money was going, and it turns out that only like $150,000 was being used. And that's on the high end. $150,000 was used for the purchase of DQuat. By the way, I have a correction in that story. It turns out that the Army Corps of Engineers was not spending $100 a gallon for DQuat. Apparently, they get it at the low price of $38 a gallon, while everybody else is paying upwards of $100 and $150. No. They get the wholesale price, which is why on the low end, the spend was about $134,000, upwards of $150,000 for just the purpose of DQuat. Are you asking yourself, well, Reese, where does the other $5 million plus go to? Well, we revealed that stuff was going to things like research and pamphlets to talk about the importance of putting poison in the water after they put in the poison. But there was breaking news. A couple of days ago, in going back and doing some research, because there's a big story that's coming about this, about the money in all of this coming up that I'm contributing to. Just be patient. I'm supposed to be talking to that individual soon. But further into my investigation, it turns out that although Dick Blumenthal was asking for $6 million here and $5 million there, in 2019, to address this, because remember when we asked the question, it was like, wow, they knew this in 2016. Why didn't they do anything about it? Well, that was because they were turned down for the original amount that Dick Blumenthal was asking the federal government for. Wait for it. The amount that he wanted was $100 million. That's right. Dick Blumenthal was asking for $100 million for a span of 4 years. $20 million a year, which far exceeds the paltry $6 million that he was getting. $20 million a year for DQuat, which again, on the high end, for the places that they were going to put it, was at $150,000 for just purchasing the amount of DQuat they needed, for the wholesale price of $38 a gallon. Yeah, there's nothing fishy there, folks. Nothing. We are completely, we're just grasping at straws. Completely delusional. Crazy. Don't believe me? Go look it up. Don't believe you. And again, anybody that's like, you're just picking on Blumenthal. Don't listen to Reese on the radio. He doesn't know. He's got no track record of being accurate. No. You do your own research. Don't let me do it for you. $100 million. It's absolutely crazy. It is insanity. Let's go to Bill. He's calling in Connecticut. What's going on, Bill?
Hi, Reese. How are you today?
What's up, sir?
Number one, I know you can change the politics in Connecticut, and I would love to help you do it.
Well, I think.
The second thing is, I have an idea.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. What was your idea?
Can attract investments that doesn't involve the state of Connecticut. Put a quality product on the court. They won what? 10 games this year, maybe 11.
I don't know how many games they won, Bill. I have no idea. I've actually, you know what?
I think it was about that. I know that at one point they lost like 20 games in a row.
Really? Was it that bad? I didn't follow. I got to be honest with you. I didn't
say the same thing about the Whalers. I was a big Whalers fan, listening on the radio all the time, and when I had the transportation and when you could get the radio signal inside the old Civic Center, I used to go to the games. But I said the same thing about them. I could be wrong, but I believe in the time that they were the National Hockey League version of the Whalers. They only made the Stanley Cup playoffs once in the time that they were here.
Yeah. I heard so much stuff about them when I got here like 20 years ago. That was all anybody could ever tell me about that. My first question was about, how is it that Connecticut didn't have a major sports team? And everybody's response was, yeah, we got UConn. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you. That was always their response. I would go, hey, you guys don't have a major sports team here. And they would go, yes, we do. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, Connecticut, UConn, men's and women. I'm like, but that's college. They'd be like, no, it's not. I always thought that was the funniest thing. Because there was such a response to it that was just completely deadpan. And they would look at me like, yeah, how dare you say it's not a major team? I was like, okay. As I always say, my first weekend ever, it was like, because I was living here every weekend for the month of March. So of 2004, before I officially moved up on April, I think it was a weekend before April. Yeah, it had to be the weekend before April Fool's Day. And I was up every weekend that month. And I spent, even like Monday into Tuesday. And every weekend I would just be there and go check out the sites, sort of, pal around. It was myself and the producer, Miguel. And we would go out to restaurants and we'd sit at the bar and we would talk to people who were sitting at the bar. Because Miguel wasn't the, outgoing, gregarious type. And that was always me. So, and I think it's still me, to be honest. But we would just cozy up at the bar and order around. And whoever's sitting at the bar, I would immediately, hey, man, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And it was like, you live here in Connecticut? And people would just stop. You always get them when they're drinking. Okay, let's just be honest. People are talkative. And you just start asking them questions, and I would just listen. I would just ask, yeah, really, what's the sports scene like out here? And just talk, and people would just open up in ways and it's one thing I will say, and I don't know if this is indicative of Connecticut. Perhaps it is. Maybe I want it to be indicative of Connecticut. I'm hoping that maybe it's everywhere, but I'm in my own head. I want it to just be a Connecticut thing. Connecticut has always been this place. I've also it's kind of in Boston did it too. Maybe it's a New England thing. But whenever you ask someone about the history of where they live, they are all too eager to tell you. And that's not a bad thing. I just want you to know that. I am not in any way crapping on that. I love it. The way that people show a pride in where they live. That is amazing. My trip with Mark on the water, Mark and the skipper, that was just, it was just, I don't even know if it was for my own research that they wanted to offer the information, but every time I talk, same thing with Craig when I went and had lunch with Craig and his wife. It was just this sense of like, let me show you around, man. You have no idea what we have here. I get off on that. I mean, it's amazing to watch it. People can complain all they want to, but there is a sense of pride in where you live. And when you see it, not that hood pride. Yo, that's where BB got shot, son. Not that. Not that. Yo, remember when the police raided on 24th Street? No, not that. I'm talking about what you guys do. Pointing out, landmarks. It's an amazing thing. You have no idea. I get chills even thinking about it. Because I've kind of in my life have been a nomad. I've lived in so many places. I have no kind of like real sense of home because this career is sort of in my life has always had me moving around. So I've always considered that an arrival. I mean, I remember Lori said in a chat room that, Reese, you've arrived. I said, yeah, I've never really felt that, like that arrival. So being in Connecticut, I kind of felt like I had a home. So to hear you guys talk about it in the way that you do, I hope you understand that it's a good kind of envy. That's what it is. Because I don't just hear all the, no, Connecticut's this, and I can't believe you, and all that other stuff. When we get around and you guys hang out with me, you all do exactly what I expect. Hey, man, let me show you this. Hey, man, have you ever been there? You're not all lost on this place. And that's good to know. And I'm feeding off that. I'm working off that. We got to get into traffic, Hollywood news coming up, your phone calls. Stand by. We'll be back. Let's get to Tom O'Hanlon. He's at the BPS Traffic Center filling in for Mark Christopher.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On 91 northbound, it's still slow from that crash that cleared a while ago on 91 going between exit 29A and 32. It had 2 lanes blocked earlier, but the traffic volume just lingering a bit. 84 westbound slowing down before you get to Main Street and over into Hartford. 84 eastbound still slow, exit 44 to 51. And on 91 southbound at Windsor, we're busy, exit 35A to 32 with traffic, and also in Middletown southbound 91, exit 20 to 17. Route 2 is heavier now up from Wilbur Cross into 84. Route 3 is moving. And in Meriden on Wilbur Cross northbound, exit 65 feeding into 691 westbound. Watch for lane closures as needed because of a crash. 91 southbound were pretty good, and then getting down into 95 New Haven, it's a bit busier. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
High pressure in control through much of our forecast will mean a great weekend and a nice start to the new work week before the chance of rain returns on Tuesday. But no rain gear needed for the rest of this afternoon. Will be partly sunny with a high near 80 to end the work week. A cold front moving through tonight will bring us cooler conditions overnight with clear skies and a low of 48. The weekend will start out beautiful tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and a high of 73, a bit cooler than today. Tomorrow night, clear, cool again, low 46, and mostly sunny and nice to end the weekend Sunday, high 72. Back to work and school on Monday. The nice dry weather continues, sunshine, high 76 on Monday. But our next chance of rain is waiting in the wings on Tuesday. We'll see any sunshine fade behind clouds. It will turn warmer, though. Chance of a thunder shower by the afternoon as temperatures go up to 82. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080. WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 79 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The state's top energy regulator has resigned. Pura Chair Marissa Gillette says disputes took their toll. The agency faces a series of lawsuits from utility companies. Then this week, House Republican leader Vin Candelora asked for an impeachment inquiry on whether Gillette lied to lawmakers at a confirmation hearing.
Whatever she had told me back in February, the information that we're garnering today from the court case is indicating otherwise. So that was my concern, that I do believe she may have provided misinformation.
Gillette denied the existence of emails limiting the ability of other commissioners to consult staff experts. The Hartford Courant later found those emails did in fact exist. Pressed by reporters today, Governor Lamont didn't answer on whether Gillette may have lied.
I'm going to miss her as current chair. The utilities won't, because she held them accountable. She knew her stuff. But that said, there was a lot of incoming, a lot of noise, lawsuits and such.
Candelora now expects there won't be an impeachment inquiry because Gillette has effectively removed herself from office. Singer Morrissey has canceled a show tonight at Foxwoods Resort Casino. This for reported death threats made against the singer in Ottawa. A show in Boston has also been canceled. On its website, Foxwoods says ticket holders can obtain a refund at the point of purchase. Vaccine advisors chosen by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have decided against recommending COVID vaccines to all Americans.
Until now, the vaccinations had been routinely provided to just about anyone who wanted one. In a split decision, however, the committee did vote against requiring a prescription for the COVID-19 shot.
Correspondent Christopher Cruz. Republican and Democratic lawmakers stopgap funding bills. They flopped today in the Senate. They passed narrowly earlier in the House, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune says the minority party's playing politics.
We think that's the right way to do this. There were 13 such opportunities the Democrats had when President Biden was in the White House, where we did short-term, clean, continuing resolution.
And this increases the prospect of a partial government shutdown come October 1st. In New Haven, police have begun destroying illegal ATVs and dirt bikes that have been seized. Officials cite the dangers the vehicles pose, particularly when operated recklessly on city streets. New Haven Police Chief Carl Jacobson with this message.
The message, the mayor said it. Do not come here riding these. They will end up in that and crushed. Everybody in New Haven deserves to be peaceful, live their lives, have a good time. We want you to come to New Haven and have a good time, but don't ride an ATV. That's the bottom line.
Last session, state lawmakers passed a measure allowing cities and towns to confiscate illegal dirt bikes and ATVs, as well as enacting tougher penalties and giving them the option to destroy the bikes. City of Middletown remembered one of its favorite sons today. Family, friends, and colleagues of the late state representative Quentin Q. Williams turned out for the dedication of a ball field in his honor at Beeman Middle School. Williams was killed in January of 2023 on Route 9 in a wrong-way crash in Cromwell. He was headed home from the governor's inaugural ball. At the dedication, Williams' mother, Queen Williams, said she initially wasn't going to speak but thought otherwise.
I may never have this opportunity again to tell the world how much I love my son. I know he told everyone how much he loved me, but I never said in public how much I loved him. He knew I loved him, but the world didn't know I loved him.
Q. Williams died at the age of 39. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 172. NASDAQ was up 160. S&P gained 32 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Wesley Financial Group is a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I don't have any movie news today because it's Friday and usually the wife would be here. So, I don't know. It's weird for her not being here on Friday. She's usually here on every Friday, and like now I'm looking at the chair that sits across from me, or a microphone sitting there, a headphone sitting there. She's not here. It's kind of quiet here in the house. It's just quiet. It's just bad. It's just bad. I don't even know what to do with myself. After the show, I have no idea what I'm going to do, Roland. After the show, like I have to invent something to do. She has the car. We've only got one car. So she has the car. So you know what that means I have to do, right? I have to ride my bike to go anywhere. Like if I need to go to the store to go grab something, I got to ride my bike, which is probably what I'll do. I'll probably ride my bike. Get some exercise in this incredible heat. It's probably about 98 degrees. It's probably really, really warm.
It's just nice little 75 up here.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's the one thing that I miss. I miss the beautiful, cool weather of up north. That's like the best. It's the best. But yet, I don't even have the weather on my phone anymore. I used to have the weather on my phone. I don't even have it anymore. Oh, no, there it is. Great, 93. Perfect. That ought to be great. I'm going to wait until the sun goes down.
That's crazy.
Yeah. At least if the sun goes down, it might be roughly about 89. just in case. It might be somewhere around there. When I first moved to this place, that was the first thing I said. It's like, it's 85. I told you that. Did I tell you that when I first moved here, Roland? I woke up at 6:30 in the morning, was getting ready to go to the store, and I was like, Amazon. What's that? Alexa. I was like, Alexa, what's the temperature outside? It was 6:30. She was like, it's currently 85 degrees. I'm like, the sun's not even up. And
it doesn't matter down there, boy.
And it's January. I'm like, what in the hell? Yeah, they don't care. They do not care. All right, let's get another check of weather and traffic before we get up out of here with Tom O'Hanlon, our good friend. He's my friend on Facebook now. He's in the BPS Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. In East Hartford, 84 eastbound HOV lane is shut down beyond Silver Lane entry because of a crash and a vehicle fire. 84 eastbound was slow, exit 44 to 51. 84 westbound loaded up from Main Street to the river and into Hartford. On Route 2, we're heavier now going up from Wilbur Cross into 84. We're looking at 91 on the southbound side in Windsor. It's the traffic volume there around exit 35A to 32. 291 speeding, plenty of traffic into 91 northbound. And also on Route 3, we're moving. In Meriden, that crash was cleared on Wilbur Cross right around 691, so we're doing much better. At 91 southbound to New Haven, we're okay, but 95 southbound down there, exit 48 to 43, we're busy. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Traffic brought to you by the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. Before our children get to school, they're on the roads, on sidewalks, in crosswalks, riding bikes, and waiting for buses. So put away the distractions and slow down. School's in. Drive smart. A message from the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association and Connecticut DOT.
WTIC weather.
And as we enter the rest of this afternoon into this evening, we'll see partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures topped out around 80 today and will be clear and cooler tonight in the wake of a cold front, down to 48. The weekend, not as warm, with plenty of sunshine. Good weather for getting outside. Tomorrow, 73. Clear tomorrow night, low 46, and mostly sunny Sunday, high just 72. Still drying in the 70s Monday. Our next chance of rain is Tuesday. We're back in the 80s. Right now, 79 in Plainville, 77 in Manchester, and 80 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement this year? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gut protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon, and you're listening to Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
God, I love that man's voice. Anyway, we're back, and you know what? Because I want to get to the rest of these stories real quick, I'm going to go through the phones kind of lickety-split if I can. Let's get to White Mike. What's going on, buddy?
So, in what world is it a logical decision to invest taxpayers' money in not just a WNBA franchise, but the one with the fourth worst attendance in the league?
I saw that. And again, he's not made it official. He is giving this proposal that he wants people to respond to. It's like, well, okay, if you don't like this idea, what idea do you have? And I was looking at these numbers. I did everything I could to see exactly where the benefit was. And everything they do say, this is the interesting part. I did ask the question whether or not the Connecticut Sun was losing money. It turns out they're not. They are actually one of the few.
No way, dude.
No. Hold on. I did.
No, I have the numbers.
Okay, please, because they're telling me it's not.
Attendance is 6,500 a game. That's 1/3 of what the biggest selling team in the league, the Golden State Valkyries, do. There's no freaking way they're not losing.
Yeah, but their arena only holds like 8,000.
Yeah, their arena only holds 8,000. Is what I'm saying.
Yes.
So no, and I looked at.
They can't fill it.
No, I understand that and that's one of the biggest problems that I have with this. It's because it is at the Mohegan Sun. It is so far away. I'm pretty sure you could read a map. Where it is, it's sort of like getting to Gillette. But the reason why people go to Gillette is because it's the New England Patriots. You know what I mean? It's like, it's worth the trip.
There aren't enough lesbians there to fill that arena. If you look at the places, seriously, if you look at the cities that have the highest attendance, with Indiana being the outlier because of Caitlin Clark,
right?
It's Northern California, Los Angeles, New York.
So listen,
let them take the team to Boston where there's lesbians and they'll sell tickets.
There's not just that. It's because it really is a sports town. But look at it this way. Okay, this is what I got. And I don't know what your source was. But it says, based on the most recent hold on. Based on the most recent available data, the Connecticut Sun generated approximately $14 million in revenue during the 24 season. The latest full-year figures of mid-2025. This includes ticket sales, sponsorship, merchandise, and local media rights. League-wide, W18 saw sponsorship revenue alone hit a record $76 million across all franchises. Now, again, if you don't think that that's considerable, it's in its 25-year history with a growing number of people who are attracted to it. I know it loses the NBA money, but as a franchise only, it does generate some money.
Unless they're selling tickets for $500 a piece, the math isn't mathing.
Okay. What's your source? What's your source?
Statista.
Oh, okay.
Pure statistics. It listed the average attendance for every WNBA team, and they're third for fourth from the bottom.
Now it says it also has.
Don't feel bad because the Dallas Wings sell less than them, and they have supposedly the second coming in that little hobbit-looking, bug-eyed lesbian chick they brought in, Paige Beckers.
No, don't say that. Are you kidding me? She's royalty here. Are you insane? You can't say that.
The only
No. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? These people will go crazy in this town. You are not going after her. You understand me? No. They will kill me in this town if I let you say that. Absolutely not. No, that is not being. I don't even think that. That's it. Look, as much as I give the WNBA a problem, I am not going in that direction. No, Mike. No. Now, you can talk about them, but don't be disparaging about the way people look.
The reason that
Go ahead.
The reason Paige Beckers is being pushed by the WNBA in a way that Caitlin Clark did not is because she's a blonde lesbian who acts black and dates a brown woman.
I don't know. I don't know anything about her personal life, but again, I don't follow WNBA.
No, she's a bucket, period. Ain't no slander.
I know. There's no, isn't she, hold on, isn't she rookie, was she rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, she was rookie of the year. Yeah, that much I know.
Yeah.
But she is a draw in that regard. But here, I want to get back to
Dallas. She's not a ticket draw. They don't sell tickets in Dallas. Nobody cares about her.
Why? Hold on. Speaking of that, is it because, and I thought Dallas had gotten like relatively really liberal in the last like 10, 20 years. Is it just not a WNBA town? Because I thought
they have real sports to watch.
Yeah, that's okay. I knew you were going to say that. So even with that, let me use your logic, and if I can, I'm going to use a little bit against you. So does Boston. Boston has real sports. They got the Bruins. They got the Celtics. Clearly, they just won a championship not too long ago. Of course, they have the New England Patriots. My question to you,
dude.
No. Let me give you the question. Why would it be beneficial for the Connecticut Sun to go to Boston if they, of course, and we're talking title town here, of course, with the Red Sox. Why would it be beneficial for them to go to Boston if Dallas has real sports there?
It may not.
You're saying it may not work?
It may not work, but it's a bigger market and more money.
I would admit that.
Who knows, dude? Maybe the Boston people will be smart and they will acquire marketable, attractive athletes and sell some tickets.
I'm going to agree with you on that, even though I'm not going to allow you to say disparaging things. But no, I agree with you. Is that there is. Look, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue used to be a testament of exactly what sports are. Good-looking, athletic people draw people to the sport. Right now, if you had a early Kate Upton on the what's that game with the brooms and the little bub? No, the one that you slide on the ice. That looks.
Curling. I thought you were going Harry Potter.
No. The little silly thing that's in the Olympics that you slide on the ice. What's that called?
Yeah, it's called curling.
Curling, yes. If you had a early Kate Upton type in a curling competition, the sport would go nuts. I mean, that's just the way that it is.
But Caitlin Clark is a rare jewel because she's talented and likable.
Yeah.
Some of the other people have leaned into the message the WNBA wants, and the public doesn't like that.
And they don't care.
The public likes Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham because they seem like real people. They don't want to see Gollum coming out in her tracksuit with her brown girlfriend. They don't care.
You know what it is? Again, this is what happens when you really, really get the politics into sport and you can't let it go because they're going to look this is going to sound it's going to sound hateful, but I don't mean it to be, but it just is. You know, first of all, they're never going to improve the sport because the one group of people you can't criticize in modern day society turns out to be black women. They are the one group of people that you can't say, look, this isn't working. You have to stop it. And it's not, and for the benefit of the league and the benefit of our pockets, and if you want people to make more money, you guys are going to have to not be in charge or get with the program. And because they can't take criticism.
You got to de-gayify that league, man. You can't have this many knuckle-dragging lesbians.
I was thinking, no, that's it. I am done with you. Goodbye. Just not on a Friday. I'm done with him. Knuckle-dragging. You have to understand that it is just too much. He's bad. Now, somebody's going to be mad because I'm laughing about it, but I know you. You people are just too sensitive. You're just too sensitive. Okay? At least he didn't start talking about anybody's hair, a la Don Imus. That didn't happen. I'm just saying. But again, I do know that's the thing about the league. I watch it as far as like for highlights, and I say to myself all day, I can't watch anybody in a sport that's going to miss 48 to 50% of their shots. I can't do it. Do you even watch the sport, Roland? You know who these people are. Do you watch it at all?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're a fan.
Of course.
Okay. Is it because you like basketball and you like it no matter who's playing?
No, I love basketball.
Okay.
I love competitive basketball. And the difference between the men and not every difference, but one of the differences between the men and the women is women are more technically sound. They don't depend on the athleticism and the strength. They have to actually be solid and precise with what they're doing.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And I like to watch that.
Okay, so you like the precision of the shot from the female competitors, where in basketball for men there is a lot of strength, driving the lane, being able to resist, sort of like that
jump high dunk, flashy, and all that. So
yeah, you know what? It's funny because what's his name, Shaquille O'Neal. He made that argument that said if you were to bring the regulation hoop down and there was more dunking in the women's league, that would attract more viewers. What's your view on that?
I don't necessarily.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Because I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's the problem. I'll be honest with you, though. I'll put it to you this way. Here's what my problem is, and this, I think this makes sense just because I'm looking at it from a very average guy sort of way. So I'll be flipping through TikTok or even through Instagram at time. And it's those are the two apps that I rarely go to. And if you follow me, you know I'm barely on those. So I'll be going through them because somebody will send me something. And I'm going through, and then I will see a highlight reel of a particular basketball player, like Ja Morant. And it will be, all of these greatest plays by him in his young career. And I will sit there and I will watch them and I'll be like, ooh. And then the same thing will happen because the algorithm, then the WNBA will show up. And it will be a montage of some of the worst plays ever. Missing shots, horrible alley-oops, attempts at doing something, finessed or fancy, and it always ends abysmal. And that's the contrast. Because when you watch the NBA, even the NFL, great part, I'll be flipping through and I will see Barry Sanders' greatest runs. There's even some where it will show the greatest defensive tackles, like, those cases where they run down a guy who's got clear, like, He's got clear access to the end zone, either on a pick six or a fumble, and the offensive player will run him down and get him before he scores the touchdown. They're great. You will always see that. I want to say, all of a sudden it goes to the WNBA, and it is a litany of like watching horrible plays. And until that changes, like as a greatest plays by Caitlin Clark, which I've seen very few, once that changes, it will. And somebody sends me, I can't remember who it is. I think it's Todd. One of my listeners, Todd, will send me a meme of what's her name? Reese. What's her Angel Reese. And these pictures are just mean. Like she had that 2K picture they did for a magazine where it's supposed to be showing her with the ball about to, shoot, and they replaced the ball with a brick. It's the meanest thing. It's just so mean. You hate it when people rag on her, but
yeah, but if you go to most of the big stars, their shooting percentage is low, so she's not doing any worse than anybody else.
I know too. Somebody said, like, I remember somebody not too long ago saying to me, is like, people talk about how great Angel Reese is at rebounds, and I'm like, yeah, but it's just a statistical number, because usually the rebounds they're talking about are her own missed shots.
And that's another unproven fact, because she averages about 9 rebounds a game, and only 3 of those are offensive. So that
only 3 of them? Okay.
So she's getting 6 defensive rebounds a game compared to 3 offensive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going to save it. Mike, I think it's going to
there will be no Angel Reese or Paige Buckets slander when I'm around.
That's why I stopped him, because he's so mean-spirited. Because you know what? It's not like he is going to watch the game. If they actually followed his recipe for the team, for the league, he wouldn't watch it anyway. He wouldn't. I swear to you, he would never watch it. He just hates on it, and he loves hating on it. Like I said, I could have a lot of fun with it, but I'm trying to give it a break. I'm at least saying that. And again, I'm looking at this from a business perspective. I do not want businesses to fail. I don't want the WNBA to fail, but I feel like they don't care. I really do. I feel like they don't care. When we come back, what happened to guilt by association? I want you to think about that. Guilt by association. What happened to it, Left? What happened to guilt by association? We'll talk about it. Tom O'Hanlon, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Tom.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On 84 eastbound at the HOV lane, a closure beyond Silver Lane entry because of a crash and vehicle fire involved there. 84 eastbound, we're busy still through West Hartford, especially exit 44 to 51. 84 westbound, we're loaded up from Main Street over into Hartford. Route 2 is still slow from Wilbur Cross up into 84. And 91 southbound through Windsor, we've got all that traffic from exit 35A to 32. 291 slows down with reports of a westbound collision and police activity approaching 91 northbound, and Route 3 is moving. We're looking at 91 northbound in New Haven, congestion there exit 5 through 8 because of a crash with 3 vehicles that happened between exits 6 and 8. The right lane remains closed. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. NC11-1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
WTIC weather.
High pressure in control through much of our forecast will mean a great weekend and a nice start to the new work week before the chance of rain returns on Tuesday. But no rain gear needed for the rest of this afternoon. Will be partly sunny with a high near 80 to end the work week. A cold front moving through tonight will bring us cooler conditions overnight with clear skies and a low of 48. The weekend will start out beautiful tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and a high of 73, a bit cooler than today. Tomorrow night, clear, cool again, low 46, and mostly sunny and nice to end the weekend Sunday, high 72. Back to work and school on Monday. The nice dry weather continues, sunshine, high 76 on Monday. But our next chance of rain is waiting in the wings on Tuesday. We'll see any sunshine fade behind clouds. It will turn warmer, though. Chance of a thunder shower by the afternoon as temperatures go up to 82. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 5:30, Hartford temperature 79 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Marissa Gillette is out as chair of PURA, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority. She's been on the job since 2019, but had butted heads in recent years with state lawmakers and utility officials.
Writing in the chat room.
Lamont will now be tasked with choosing her successor. Gillette's resignation is effective October 10th. Singer Morrissey has canceled the show tonight at Foxwoods Resort Casino. This for reported death threats made against him in Ottawa. A show in Boston has also been canceled. On its website, Foxwoods says ticket holders can obtain a refund at the point of purchase. Hartford Healthcare announcing an agreement to bid to acquire Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospitals from Prospect Medical Holdings. HHC President Jeff Flax issued a letter to that end today. This comes on the heels of word this week that Yukon Health would bid on Waterbury Hospital, also a Prospect holding. New Haven cracking down on illegal dirt bikes and other operators of ATVs. Officials were on hand today at the police academy to demonstrate how they're getting rid of the bikes once they're confiscated. They're being crushed and turned into scrap metal. Police are somewhat hamstrung in trying to collar the violators. They have turned their attention to other technologies to get the nuisance riders off the streets while slapping them with hefty fines. Senate rejected competing measures to fund federal agencies for a few weeks when the new budget year begins October 1st. That increases the prospects for a partial government shutdown on that date. And new vaccine advisors appointed by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. decided not to recommend the COVID shot today. Rather, their decision leaves the choice up to those who want the vaccine. The FDA recently put new restrictions on the shots, reserving them for those over 65 or younger patients with underlying conditions. On Wall Street, the markets finished up. The Dow gained 172 points. NASDAQ picked up 160. S&P up 32. Red Sox at Tampa Bay tonight at Steinbrenner Field. 6:35 is the pregame here. Yanks continue their series in Baltimore with the Orioles, and the Mets open a series at Citi Field versus the Nationals. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, You can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
Yeah, we're back. Of course, this would usually be what happened was, but I have to read this. Whatever happened to guilt by association, Democrats? And what do I mean by that? Is that has always been the standard that you live by. That if we didn't support one thing, it meant another. And that's what it always has been, guilt by association. Let me give you a couple examples. Advocating for law and order, like we did in D.C., we got criticized for that because it means that we were perpetuating police brutality, especially against minorities, by defending systems seen as inherently biased without sufficient reforms. If we supported a strict border, we were charged with causing family separations and humanitarian crisis at the border, framing such policies as rooted in xenophobia and cruelty toward immigrants. Guilt by association. If we defended Trump, you held us responsible for supporting the Capitol riot on January 6th. How about backing fossil fuels? We were blamed for exacerbating climate change and environmental disasters. And of course, my favorite, supporting the NRA. It meant we were to be accused of enabling gun violence and mass shootings by prioritizing gun rights over public safety. Guilt by association. All of those things, without a doubt, are what you say about Republicans, conservatives, and MAGA. So imagine my surprise when I find out that in the 5th District, Johanna Hayes writes a statement that says, why I did not support the resolution to honor Charlie Kirk. Today, I voted no on the resolution honoring the life and legacy of Charles Kirk. I condemn political violence in all forms. This resolution was not that. I also respect the First Amendment, and I believe that people have the right to express their ideas and opinions. I do not agree with any of the opinions expressed by Charlie Kirk, but I will defend his right and his rights of all Americans to express them. You can't for him, ma'am. He's dead. I voted no because I did not agree with the text of this resolution, which honors the leadership and legacy of a person whose viewpoints do not align with my values or my beliefs. It's to honor him, not all that other minutia, which mean nothing at this point. He's dead. Guilt by association means that you support his murder. Yeah, I'm going there. Let's get to Tom O'Hanlon in the BPS Traffic Center.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. In East Hartford, 84 eastbound HOV lanes still closed beyond Silver Lake entry because of crash and a vehicle fire. 84 eastbound slow exit 44 to 51. Route 2 is heavy up into Wilbur Cross in 84. Founders Bridge has some traffic getting over into Hartford. 91 southbound through Windsor, busy exit 35A to 32. And 291 slowing down with a westbound collision and police activity approaching 91 northbound. Route 3 is moving, and a crash in New Haven on 91 northbound. Exit 6 and 8 is where that is, between 6 and 8. Northbound delay starter and exit 2. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
mNEXSpike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna, is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
WTIC weather.
And that forecast as we head through the rest of the afternoon calls for partly to mostly sunny skies. Already hit our high of 80. Temperatures slowly fall through these into this evening. Clear tonight all the way down to 48. Much cooler than recent nights because of a cold front that moved through earlier today. The weekend looks great. Sunshine, low humidity tomorrow, high 73. Clear and cool tomorrow night, low 46, and mostly sunny and nice on Sunday at 72. We stay dry on Monday with sunshine, and next chance of rain Tuesday. We're back in the 80s. Right now, 79 in Farmington, 77 in Bristol, and 80 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you are a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement this year? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Looking to retire with confidence? Get the answers you need. Tune in to Wall Street Sweeper with Russ Hackman. Sunday mornings at 9:30 on News Talk WTIC AM. Strategies, insights, and smart retirement talk. Don't miss it.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick seminars. No matter how many times you tried to quit, this hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. That's right. Weight loss seminar Saturday, September 20th at the Holiday Inn Express in Southington. Time is 11 a.m. Registration begins at 10:30. Stop smoking seminar starts at 2 p.m. Registration starts at 1:30. Information at markpatrickseminars.com.
A successful retirement doesn't just happen. It requires a plan that is custom built to suit everyone's individual financial situation. Every Saturday at 3, we share vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of self, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. Site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
I don't want to go. It's the last break, and I have to go. I don't want to.
Tighten up, man.
I don't want to go. Then I have to sit around the house all by myself. I have to find a hobby. I'm going to ride my bike all weekend. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to ride it where those damn hogs were. That I'm definitely not going to do. All right, folks. Yes, our show is almost over. We've got plenty of stuff that we did not talk about, but I'm sure there'll be more news on Monday. If there is not, let me just give you some updates. When we get back Monday, we're going to talk about this young lady. The article was in the Connecticut Sentinel. Her name is Danielle Slaughter Loser, is her name. She is a Newtown school behavioral therapist, and she's under fire for hateful, racist social posts. We'll get to the bottom of that, and I will reach out to her, see if we can get her on the show, and perhaps that she'll join the program and call me the N-word as well. Just saying. That's how they get when they get mad. That's just how they get. We'll give you any other details as they arrive, or if they arise, related to the Jimmy Kimmel scandal. And somebody posted something. You're so right in that post in saying that they seem to be more concerned about a canceled talk show host than they are about a murdered father and husband who was just asking to converse with people and clearly had the hearts and minds of young people across the country. And it just shows you exactly who these people are. Also, a good thing to note, please, folks, keep your head on a swivel. That's one. Two, Johanna Hayes is just a small monicum of exactly what we're seeing. Democrats are not going to tone it down. They do not believe in lowering the temperature. They are desperate. They know they're losing. And it's all that's left. I've talked about this. I've repeated it over and over again. And as much as I want to be wrong, I know I'm not. Okay? This is a desperate, childish group of people. And they have no power over their fringe because they're scared to death of them. They cannot afford to chastise them because they will lose their vote. Why? Because they are that fickle. Now, you want to think about this. I want you to think rationally here. If you don't support the simplest of policies that they agree with, that is a part of their tenet, if you so much as alter or even try to compromise with them on something they believe in, or even show a degree of resistance, they will oust you. So imagine you are a politician, you're AOC, you're Hakeem Jeffries, you're Chuck Schumer, and you don't agree with Zohran Mamdani and the radical leftist base that supports him, and you openly express that, you're done. You are done. So they have to remain quiet. They are held hostage by the radical base that they created, and they have no answer to them. And the only answer that they have to them is violence. If you think that's not possible, try this on for size. We just got word that Nancy Pelosi's attacker was a radical leftist. We just got new news. We also just found out that the man who attacked Brett Kavanaugh, went to go attack Brett Kavanaugh, is now asking to be called a she in prison. That's right. And we know that Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, why was his house firebombed? Because he is a Democrat Jewish man who's been considered the Jewish version of Barack Obama, the deity, the God, in Democrat circles. And why did this leftist lunatic firebomb his house? Because the lunatic was a pro-Palestine type. That's all you need to go. Yes, they have begun to eat their own, but then again, they'll eat anybody. Their objective is to fight with violence because they're losing, and nobody can rein them in. 95 people, I think it's a little more than that, voted no or present when it came to honoring Charlie Kirk. No. No. They actually made this. I was stunned that I saw a little more than 95 Democrats actually signed on, like they've got a sense of what, like one. But the rest of them, no. And we're not talking about small names. Old slickback Al Green voted no. And you know he's a piece of garbage. Yes, I said it. That man is trash. So get used to it. It ain't over. But don't fret. They're going to become the fringe that they are. Let's get to the phones and get up out of here. Let's go to Stephen in Waterbury. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Reese. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, sir. What's up?
Okay. I got about 4 or 5 points to make about Charlie Kirk. First of all, I'm willing to bet that most of the people probably had no idea who he was.
Very true.
Until he got shot, especially on the left. Second of all, he very well could have been murdered for a lie, because there's so many people that are taken. Now, that being said, you get callers from the left that believe this stuff. And it's good that you push back on it, but that could be very positive, because if enough people see that people they trust are lying, all of a sudden they may come around.
In fact, Stephen, just to cut you off, I know you want to go through fast, but that is evident because there are people we're actually now witnessing online who are saying, all these people are talking about Charlie Kirk. And one guy, I watched the video the other day, the guy said, now I'm obsessed with him.
Right.
So
exactly. Exactly. And I'm glad you pointed that. I wanted to make sure that we had time for everybody, and but I think that's going to really open eyes to a lot of people, and I think it's going to be so powerful in more ways than we could even imagine.
Yeah, and that's the important point. The beauty of it is like, and again, this isn't about a religion thing, right? Because you can get a guy who preaches the Bible, and more than likely people will not go out and buy a Bible. But if you're preaching about Charlie Kirk, the device that usually has access to him is already in their hand. You know what I mean?
Right, and not for nothing, the Bible is supposed to be the best-selling book. Plus, they give them away for free to a lot of people.
Good point. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, Stevie B. Let's go to Dave in Windsor. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Reese, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir. What's up?
Good. Listen, I didn't know. I'm in my mid-70s.
Okay.
I admit I didn't know much about Charlie Kirk, but I lived through the assassination of Kennedy's, both of them, Martin Luther King, and many other people. But at the same time, I'm reading some stuff. I started reading about Charlie Kirk and some of the things he said.
Okay.
And I just want to point out one thing here, just one. And, he said it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have a Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. This is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. Well, who should die every year because of our Second Amendment rights? Kids in school, your wife, you. And I'm not saying, listen, at the same time, let me make this clear.
Okay.
I support the Second Amendment.
Okay.
I have a permit. I carry, all right? But at the same time, I'm happy that Connecticut has the gun laws that they do.
Okay.
And, I don't get it. I mean,
I think I can. I mean, I would say that the way Charlie articulated it can be interpreted, but then I think that the way that you're interpreting it and the way that I'm interpreting it is different, even though we heard the same thing, right? And that's possible because I come from. It's about where I see the issue of gun control versus where you see it, and we are never going to see anything eye to eye or the same way. But let me just respond to my point of view on what you just articulated. And that is this. I would say the same thing about cars that Charlie Kirk said about guns. And I think what you're looking at is your perception of guns and what it means to our society. So if you look at guns and you put it on a hierarchy of bad, and I'm using that as a very fundamental way. When I say an evil in our country, it is used primarily for evil. Every day we turn around, we see these innocent deaths that are attributed to gun violence, that if you have that view of the gun and its place in our society, what Charlie Kirk says seems irrational. Where I'm looking at the gun and I'm looking at it as just the gun, and understanding that in order for it to be used for evil is no different than a knife or a car or or a hammer. I don't see the gun as this entity in and of itself that does something outside of the hands of the user. Does that make any sense? Am I going too far?
Yeah, well, in my opinion, I only say that because I think there should be controls in place. As an example, having to do with assault.
Well, let's talk about the control part. Let's talk about the control part, and I think this is a valuable conversation. Although it's at the end of the show, but hear me out. The control that you're talking about is man-made, right? The man-made control. We can never legislate the human heart. We can never legislate anger, vitriol, passion. We can't. There's no way we can do it. But I want to try this on you, if I can. The only person who will abide by this so-called control, no matter how bad it gets, the only person who will abide by it is you, because you have a permit, as you just said, and me. That will not be the case for one of these young men in the streets of Chicago or Detroit or South Central. They don't give two damns about the law. To them, the law is an obstacle to jump over or to maneuver around. Fair?
Hence, gun control.
No, sir. Control.
As was pointed out by the mayor of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
when they were working with the ATF during that news conference, he talked about the collaboration with the ATF and how they had taken 400 and plus guns off the street.
Did they incarcerate the individuals that they got the guns from?
Yes, all the guns that they took off the street were from Louisiana, Mississippi, and Indiana.
Okay. Well, how about this one? Wait. I'll go one step further. Who are they buying the guns from?
Pardon me?
Who are the individuals buying the guns from? So you're talking about the end result, right? The end result, they pulled these guys who had illegal guns. Who's the person bringing the guns in from Louisiana?
Guys that just want to make a buck. I mean, that's where the control comes in.
Right. The interdiction.
You could go to a gun show down in Tennessee or Mississippi and buy 10 AK-47s.
Okay, and
without anybody registering the weapon.
And you believe that what's going on are you saying that these gun shows are selling guns illegally?
Sure. Well, I'm not saying no. What I'm saying is that's the loophole. What I'm saying is that's what we're talking about with gun control.
Okay, I want you to do this for me, Dave. I want you to look up the gun control loophole myth. And I'll go another step further on this one. And this is because I knew it's true. So, do you remember the project called Fast and Furious by the Obama administration?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I remember.
That. Do you remember Do you remember the impetus of it though? Do you remember why it was being done?
But you know what?
But no, Dave. It's an important illustration. It's an important illustration of what I'm talking about. So here's what I'm saying. So because Barack Obama could not prove the gun show loophole was working, was actually happening, he manufactured it through Fast and Furious. He went and did a speech, said it was happening. The statistics didn't bear out, and then he got his attorney general to manufacture it by buying guns and then putting them without serial numbers or trackers. With serial numbers, but no trackers, into Mexico to then say that actual trade was going on. The gun show loophole, it was a manufactured problem. So this gun show loophole is not the thing that you think it is. It is actually fake.
Well, you talk to, you know what, and it is a good debate to have.
I know.
But you talk to the president of Mexico has brought up the fact that the cartels are being armed by America, and they are. I'm
not disputing that, but you also forget that they do get guns from China.
They get them from everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's a good point. Thank you. I got to get Dave. It is the end of the show, Dave, unfortunately, but I got to get out of here. But I appreciate the debate. Anyway, as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. We miss you too, Charlie Kirk. Watch his memorial. We're going to be actually covering it here on WTIC. Have a good night. Pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you here on Monday. Pray for me. I'll be home alone for the weekend. I love you guys. Here's Tom O'Hanlon. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. This traffic report brought to you by Amplify CT.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Get toughen up, Buttercup.
Yeah, I know. I gotta now make me a Stouffer's
there in West Hartford.
A Stouffer's.
Yeah, that just sounds disgusting. You better order Uber Eats or something.
I would never use that thing. It's like 4 times the amount to get food.
I know it is. It's definitely supply and demand.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway.
All right, I'll see you on Monday.
See you. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, man. You too.
Connecticut.
All right, thank you, Michael. Yeah, you guys be good, and I'll give you updates. I'll send you videos of proof of life. So bear with me. I'll send a video a day to let you know that I'm here until you see me on Monday. Stay out of trouble. I'll talk to you guys later. Be good to each other.